On this week's episode, well, I think all of our mamas are calling us Bumpy. Now grab your tickets, because we're getting to the theater. Hi, everybody. Welcome to the theater. I'm Adam.
I'm Erica.
I'm Jeremy.
And I'm Corey.
Today we're going to be talking about a movie from 1997 called Hoodlum. This is a movie I had never heard of before. Jeremy suggested it. And because Jeremy suggested it, I'm going to ask him to explain the basic premise of this film real fast.
Hoodlum is a crime thriller based in 1920s Harlem, and it depicts a gang war between a couple of gangs over the numbers racket, which is like illegal gambling. I believe you said that there were actual people in this, like it was based on some actual people in this movie.
Many of the characters are real people, but for this film, a lot of the characters are made up. This is a fictionalized telling of Bumpy Johnson's life.
Okay.
Or
I actually did not know that at all going into it.
I'm sorry, not even his whole life, but just like this 1 year of his life.
Yeah.
This is largely fictionalized.
Okay. Yeah, I didn't know that at first, but that's essentially what it is. It's a I don't want to say like a mafioso type, but actually I think it is.
I think
kind
it
of.
is.
I mean,
Yeah.
Andy Garcia's character is playing Lucky Luciano, which in the movie apparently they pronounce it wrong based on people who actually knew him and his family. Mm-hmm. In the movie they pronounce it Luciano, like it's spelled, but it's Luciano apparently.
Oh, okay.
He was very much a real person. Bumpy Johnson, Madam Queen, I believe
Bigfoot Mary.
Pigfoot Mary, Bub, Dutch. All these were real people, but just
Fictionalized.
very fictionalized. Oh, and the attorney, Thomas Dewey. He was also real.
Oh.
And apparently people who knew him were kind of offended by this film, because in this film, he's shown to be a corrupt DA, taking bribes and everything. Mm-hmm. And the people that knew him were like, no, he would not do that. He was very by the book.
Or so they think.
Oh.
Dun, dun, dun.
Bum, bum, bum. So our movie actually opens with a scroll that kind of gives us a basic breakdown of what's been happening. 1934, Harlem, the gambling, the numbers, as they call it. It's like a lottery.
I would say this scroll is a little long. Like, it felt like reading the opening and, like, the prequels.
I feel like a lot of this movie's too long.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
This movie could have been an easy hour 45.
Easy.
Not 2 hours and 10 minutes. I was like, I still have an hour?
It was at that point, I was like, we're an hour in, and nothing has happened. Like, things have happened, but nothing has happened.
I feel like we're stuck in neutral here. I'm hitting the gas pedal, but nothing's going on. So it mentions that Dutch Schultz, who is played by Mr. Tim Roth, he's our main villain of this film. He's trying to take over the numbers game in Harlem from Madam Queen, who she runs everything. She's also very peaceful. She doesn't like bloodshed. But now that Dutch is infringing on her territory, something's got to be done about it, and Bumpy is the one that's like willing to fight back. We actually meet Bumpy.
Yeah, after the opening credit, he's in jail laying on that mat.
Good old
he's in Sing Sing
prison.
Yeah.
Ellsworth Bumpy Johnson is played by...
Terrible name.
It really is.
Not good.
It's
played by terrible name. He is played by a young, baby-faced Lawrence Fishburne in this movie.
Oh, I know.
So young.
So Bumpy is getting released from prison. I don't think it gave a specific time of how long he's been in,
No.
but he's in for killing someone.
I guess it was a couple. They said a couple years when he gets out.
Okay.
Yeah, just they didn't say the amount.
But yeah, so he's been locked up for a while.
Mm-hmm.
And when he gets out, he... we also get the idea right at the jump here that he's not a religious man.
Yeah, because the guys like talking about, do you feel like you've... I don't know if this happens still till today or if it's like whatever, but they went to the warden and he would, I guess, give them the whole either yes or no, I'm releasing you.
Mm-hmm.
And so, yeah, that's what was happening. And he's like, so warden, Or no, I'll let you continue. You got better. I'm sure you got better detailed notes of what he was
Oh,
saying.
not for this little bit, but basically the warden is like,
The warden kind of gives like a letting us know, hey, he's a very intelligent man. He's like, he reads poetry, he reads books, he writes poetry as well, I think.
Yep.
yeah, that's very important, listener, because this movie is set in the 1930s. If you don't know who Lawrence Fishburne is, black man, this movie is just racist as fuck.
Yes.
Like, immediately,
But it's racist against everybody.
that's true, but there's more N-words in this movie dropped than anything else. Mm-hmm. And most of them come from fucking Tim Roth.
Yep.
I didn't know how to handle it. I was like, this
Yeah.
is a movie, but there's a lot.
Yeah.
Like,
It's they use it a little too casually.
Oh, yeah, Tim Roth was dropping.
Oh, yeah.
I think Tim Roth got that. Hey, this is a movie. You could say it. He was like this. Oh, I could say it.
I don't think he had the same problem that what's his name had in Django.
Leonardo DiCaprio.
That's right. I couldn't remember his name.
DiCaprio apparently like Samuel Jackson to sit him down and be like, "Look, man, this is just work. It's Tuesday. Let's fucking get this done."
Yeah.
Because he's like, I can't say this word, and dude.
I don't know if he actually did, but he seemed like he was very comfortable with it.
Yeah.
Oh, he was flinging that thing around.
Yeah.
Tim Roth really makes you believe he's a fucking asshole in this movie.
Phenomenal actor.
Oh, he did great. But yeah, this movie, just if you're going to watch this film,
Be prepared.
exactly, it's got some lines of dialogue in this movie that are a little rough.
I missed it.
Miss what?
I'm not gonna lie. Like, I was not hearing the N-words like.
Oh.
like
What were
that.
you doing?
I don't know. Maybe I got desensitized. I don't know.
Do you
lot of
remember
it.
you know what? Okay, never mind. Go ahead.
And hard R's, by the way.
Yeah.
Hard R's.
A lot of soft A's, but a lot of hard R's.
And the warden basically is trying to let us know that, like Erica just said, he plays chess, he writes poetry, he I don't know if he mentions he reads.
Oh.
I don't remember.
He seemed like he was a red.
But he's
well-read
like,
man.
wow, look at you, educated, smart. Still ended up in here though. And he says something about you just find God, you'll be all right. And Bumpy has that line of, yeah, Warden, I read your book. And the Warden pauses, he's about to sign his release paper, and he's like, and Bumpy, like everything in Bumpy wants to be like, it's fucking bullshit. And he goes, it's a good book. He's like, I really want to get the fuck out of here.
That's what threw me off. I was like, I couldn't tell if he was just pissed or if he was like getting choked up. Because I was feeling myself while I was watching the second part.
Well, he has that line to Vanessa Williams later about, because she mentions he doesn't go to church, and he says, well, God and I have an agreement.
Oh,
I don't come into his house, he doesn't come into mine. Mm-hmm. And so throughout the movie, it's like, well, okay, so Bumpy's not a religious man, which is kind of important for the end of the film.
That's a true statement.
Yeah. So he gets out, and he makes his way back to Harlem. We see a lot of people homeless, laying on the street, lady begging for change. And he goes up to a little shop run by a guy named Willie.
Oh, yeah.
And they all know him. They're all excited he's out. Mm-hmm. And this car pulls up, and about 4 guys jump out of this car, and they start smashing up Willie's place. Mm-hmm. And they're screaming about he's running numbers out of this place. He's not supposed to without Dutch Schultz's permission. And the guy doing all the making all the commotion here
is Bub
Howlett, I believe is his last name.
Yeah.
Played by a Clarence Williams III, mm-hmm. who was in the first Tales from the Hood movie as the devil.
That's where I remember him from. As soon as I saw him, I was like, oh, that guy's a villain.
Oh, yeah. But he also, and this is something I thought was really cool, he was in American Gangster 10 years later, playing Bumpy Johnson.
Wow.
Wait a second.
He's Denzel's mentor in American Gangster.
I don't think I've seen that movie.
I have.
It's a decent movie.
But it's been
decent.
a while.
It's again one that's wildly inaccurate, but it's a good movie.
I'm probably gonna watch it tonight.
It's worth the watch.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be a good follow up from this.
Also, fun fact: this is Lawrence Fishburne's second time playing Bumpy Johnson.
What the?
This movie?
This is his second time.
Wow.
He played Bumpy in a movie in 1980. I didn't write it down. I want to say it was 84. But yeah, so
That
but in that
fresh.
movie, his character's name was Bumpy Rhodes.
Bumpy Roads.
Bumpy Rhodes, but apparently it was Bumpy Johnson.
Oh, was it like a fictionalized version of Bumpy?
Oh, you know what? The movie was called The Cotton Club.
Oh, yeah.
Wow, just like the Cotton
Club in
Is
the
it
movie.
called- yeah,
Yep.
okay.
So,
Cotton
1984,
Club in
The
real
Cotton
life.
Club.
Talking about another scene with a lot of words. God almighty.
Oh, I do remember
Classy.
that one.
So, basically, Bub, from what I gathered from this film, Bub used to be another, almost like a mob boss. Mm-hmm. Kind of like Madam Queen. Mm-hmm. But by the time Bumpy went into the joint and came out, now suddenly Bub is working for Dutch.
I'm guessing Dutch took him over.
Yeah.
Yep.
He came in and just absorbed everything.
Which is a little sad. Like, he's a little pathetic throughout this whole film.
Talking about Bub?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then out of nowhere, yeah.
Well, I
Yeah.
mean, if you think about the situation, and not that most people could place themselves in that position, but you're doing something illegal.
Mm-hmm.
The cops are coming down on you.
No matter what.
Then this other guy moves in, and he's just like, "Hey, I got my guys. We're gonna take over your operation.
Mm-hmm.
You can fight us, and you can fight the police, but I also have the police on my side."
Yeah, because Dutch has a police captain in his pocket.
Yeah, so it's just
Bold.
like not a lot of people have it in them to fight against that much, and it's just like, hey, you can cooperate, you can still make money, or you can die, fighting me, the cops, and everything else, because what you're doing is illegal anyway. So I feel like he just, he didn't have it in him to fight against that.
Bub might have just taken the easiest path to keep less bloodshed
Of himself.
Less
of himself
Yeah.
and whoever worked
His
for him.
family.
Because there are other Dutch is I believe Dutch is a Jewish mobster in this movie. They mention his real name later on, but because there are some black guys that work for Dutch, and I assume they came from Bub's former
operation.
operation. I was gonna say organization, but yeah, I just assume. So Bub starts beating the shit out of Willie, and these are some of the funniest kicks because they look so soft.
So bad.
Dude, just his foot on his chest looks so bad.
It looks like he's barely touching him, but
Yes.
the dude's reacting like he's getting kicked by Robert De Niro. But he's basically screaming like, "Look, no one runs numbers in Harlem without Dutch Schultz's permission." So they're taking all their little slips, their gambling slips, and they're just throwing them out onto the street. People are watching, and Bumpy is just kind of there watching this shit go down. Like he's kind of in awe of it. He's like, "This isn't how it's supposed to be."
He's fresh out. He's like, man, what the fuck's
Yeah.
going on?
When I went in, you were running shit. Now you're working for this guy, but also this is Queen's neck of the woods. The fuck you doing here? And then I think it jumps to we meet his cousin.
Yeah, he goes to see his cousin.
His cousin played by Shy McBride, who I always like seeing and stuff.
Oh,
he's
100%.
And he's playing a character in this movie I really like. He's got another bad name, and I believe the cousin... I'm going to guess the cousin is made up. I forgot to look that up. So correct me if I'm wrong. But his cousin is Illinois Gordon. And I think his nickname is Bear.
Or Illy.
Illy? Okay. I know Foley calls him Tiny, but that's as an insult.
Oh,
And he's in a little looks like a flop house. This little tiny room like from the Blues Brothers. And he's in there with his lady friend, Miss Pigfoot Mary. Pig. Oink oink Pigfoot.
I swear the whole time thought it was Bigfoot.
Me too. The first time I watched it, I thought it was Bigfoot. And she is played by Loretta Devine. Who
Everybody's favorite aunt.
everyone will recognize Loretta Devine from
Everything.
everything.
Every black movie ever.
She getting that check.
Yes.
I liked her in this movie too.
She was great.
She was
one
fucking
of
with Illinois
highlights,
the whole
yeah.
time.
I
whole
know,
time.
100%.
Best romance in the film.
But what was great
True
was
statement.
when there's a knock on the door, fucking Illinois' first thing, is that your husband? And she, I don't know what that two-timing gray-haired cat's up to.
Oh,
And
God.
then he pulls out a gun and she
Yeah.
says, don't kill him.
He's like, I ain't gonna kill him.
But her husband's never a character in this movie. We never see him. We never hear about him again.
No.
Not at all.
They just-
Probably out cheating.
Yeah.
Probably.
But it's Bumpy comes in and him and Illinois catch up a little bit, and Bumpy says something to Illinois about going to see the Queen, and Bumpy tries to rush her out, and she's like, "Oh, you want to kick me out? Oh, okay. Well, don't come calling when you want something." And he spends the rest of this movie trying to get back in her good graces.
Oh, come on. You know I didn't mean it.
No. And then as she leaves, I think this is where Bumpy calls her Pigfoot. And Illinois is like, would you shut the fuck up, please? You're ruining this for me.
I was just like, how do you get the name Pigfoot? You know what? Never mind.
Is it like
It's
a
probably-
similar
Well, she
thing
sells
as
pig
camel?
feet.
Oh,
Oh,
I
that
thought
one?
it was about to be a similar thing as camel toe.
Oh,
Oh,
yeah.
God.
Damn. I never even once thought about that.
Like mine, I was thinking of like the way sometimes your pantyhose will sit on your foot.
Oh,
But
Oh.
I might have been underthinking it, I guess, maybe.
Well, when we see her little shop later on, it says Pigfoot Mary's on the door. And later on, when we're in the shop, you can see like the glass jars with what look like pig feet in them.
Well, if there's one thing black people love, is pig feet. My mama loves some stewed pig feet.
I do not.
I've never had it.
Absolutely.
Well,
not.
Jeremy, you and I are white.
Cool.
Yes,
Eric-
Jeremy.
Did I say Jeremy?
Yep.
Yes, you did.
Okay, well,
I was sitting here. I was like this.
cutting that out.
But who knows? Maybe it is delicious.
I'm not going to find out.
Exactly.
We also get introduced to Lucky Luciano, played by Andy Garcia. He is visiting the Flatiron Building where Dutch Schultz uses it as his office for his gambling collections. Like he's walking through and there's just piles of very small currency on all the tables. It's like ones, twos, and fives. And there's like quarters and dimes. And there's mountains of the shit. We get introduced to Dutch. He is a fucking asshole right off the jump.
Oh yeah.
But basically, Lucky is going there to collect his tax money because there's the New York DA, Thomas Dewey, who we will meet shortly from here, is basically going after Dutch for not paying his taxes.
Tax evasion.
So now they're trying to pay him off. Lucky mentions that Dewey is nice to him because Lucky is polite to him. And the first time I watched this, I kind of missed this. I was like, what the fuck is Dutch's problem with this lawyer? And why does this lawyer hate Dutch so much other than the fact he's a fucking asshole?
Right.
Well, I missed the part where when I saw Lucky, and then I saw the DA at the same time, and I was like, you were like, that's the lawyer. So like the whole time, I like literally for like 75% of the movie, I thought Lucky was a lawyer, and I was like, why is he doing all this stuff as a lawyer? I was like,
How is
what?
he getting away with all this?
Yeah, I was like, why aren't you in court?
He's a really good lawyer.
Really good. Lucky is Lucky's one of those characters in this film that is based on a real person. He's a mob boss for the Italian mob, which is funny because 7 years prior, Andy Garcia played a different mob boss in Godfather Part 3.
Did he have a better accent?
Yes. The accents in this movie are not great, especially coming from Andy Garcia and Tim Roth.
Yeah.
Tim Roth's the reason I had to turn subtitles on.
The squinted eye was just a little like it just threw me off.
Oh yeah, he has a lazy eye. Yeah.
It was just like, what? Come on.
But like
Lucky actually had a lazy eye apparently, but I believe it was the other eye. They got one of those mild inaccuracies. Yeah, but apparently Lucky actually had a lazy eye.
I feel like Andy Garcia forgot he had a lazy eye for a couple scenes because like both his eyes would just be like open, and I'd be like, "Oh, what happened with your eye?"
Oh, it got healed.
No, he was still shocked at all the shit Dutch was doing. He was just like, "What?"
Oh, dude. Yeah.
So he's going to collect the tax money from Dutch to pay off Dewey. And Dutch basically tells him, like, you need to tell this motherfucker to back off. I'll kill him myself. He's got the accent's so bad.
And it doesn't help that Dutch always seems to be eating something.
Obnoxiously.
Yes.
Oh.
Apparently, that's one of the best ways to characterize somebody is just being
An
fucking
asshole.
an asshole and just disrespectful as fuck. Is while you are talking to them, they're just eating something.
Well,
Smacking and...
we talked about that on the Minority Report episode. Colin Farrell's character, when we first meet him, is constantly open mouth chewing gum. It's the same thing. Dutch does it later on in this movie. He's in a mob meeting. He's eating an apple as loudly as fucking possible.
I mean, first of all, that was the crispest sounding fucking apple. But yeah, just oh, I can't.
Kind of made you want an apple,
Yeah,
It did
kind
make
of.
me want an apple.
or
I
it made
did.
you want to smack somebody.
Both.
definitely smack somebody. But one of Dutch's guys, Lulu. Oh gosh, I gotta find his name.
You talking about
The
the
driver?
one with the weird laugh? Yeah, Lulu.
The one with he had the short tie.
Yes, and he always laughed like, "Whee!"
Yeah, so he's played by Edo Ross. He was in one of our previous movies. He was the guy from Lethal Weapon that went to go see the general, and they pull out the lighter. He's like, "Do you smoke?" And they held the lighter to Gary Busey's arm.
Get out of here.
He's the guy with the lighter. The guy that's like, "You guys are fucking crazy."
Those 10 years haven't been kind.
Yeah, he looked way different after 10 years. But same guy. Because when we were watching it, I was like, damn, this guy looks so fucking familiar, but I couldn't figure out where it was. The next thing is Henry goes to visit Dutch. Henry is like I think someone who just like pays him off. And because the numbers hit the wrong numbers, he owes way more money. And
that's the guy in the white, right?
yeah, that's the guy in the white.
So many people got it, and so he owed out, I forgot how much.
More than he was supposed to. And he goes in there running his mouth off to Dutch.
Talking about he's got bigger balls than
Yeah,
Dutch.
I liked it though. He was swearing at him in Spanish, and Dutch just goes, English. But he makes that ball comment, and Dutch just shoots him in the fucking throat. And when he shoots him, he gives him a look of, see what you made me do?
This is your fault. I shot you.
Yeah, and then Bub is standing behind him, and Bub just goes, big balls, no brains.
Exactly.
This man just bleeds out in the chair.
I at one point thought that is it Bubs? Yeah,
Bub Hartlett?
I thought he was working for
Howlett?
him. I thought he was working for the guy that got shot, and then it took me a second to realize, oh no, he's with.
Oh,
yeah,
I get what you're
dude.
saying.
It was so like fast paced at the beginning with names getting thrown out, and I was like, who is who? Also, one character that I really did not enjoy like watching in this movie, the Undertaker.
Oh,
I liked him. His
I
little
forgot we
weird
freaked the
self.
Undertaker.
That was a creepy motherfucker.
That's what I
was-
told Erica when he first popped up.
They're like a weird specter of death.
Yeah, I thought he was going to be like
He
one
is
of
a weird
the-
specter of death.
Yeah.
That guy could have easily been some kind of supernatural character they just threw in there.
Yeah.
He was spooky as fuck, man.
Yeah.
The first time he popped up, let him pass, son. They're carrying that coffin.
Yeah, I was like, ugh.
Just everything out of his mouth is creepy.
Yep.
And then, like, also everyone else has motorized cars, and he's just sitting there in his little horse and carriage.
Oh, yeah, his old-timey hearse. Yep, the wagon. So after Dutch kills Henry, this is where we meet D.A. Dewey. He's at a brothel with Lucky. So in this scene, basically, Lucky is telling Dewey, like, look, I'm going to take care of Dutch. We got him under control. Dewey is talking about he doesn't want any kind of big-scale war to break out between all these crime organizations. And he pays him a big bribe. But the way the scene opens is Lucky is sitting there with a cigar in his hand. And one of the girls comes up and takes it out of his hand. In that scene where he's got his hand up, he's wearing a ring. That ring belonged to the real Lucky Luciano. That one of his real friends let Andy Garcia wear for this one particular scene.
When did Lucky Luciano die?
Ooh, good question. I don't remember.
Like, is he still around? Or
No. He died... God, I want to say he died in, like, the 50s. Lucky Luciano died in 1962.
Oh.
Well, I mean, he was like probably in his 30s, depicted in the 30s.
In this movie, he would have been about 30-something. Yeah. Or 40-something.
Was he born in the early 1900s?
No, he was born in 1897.
Oh.
Died in 1962.
Oh.
64 years old.
Oh.
He also died in Naples, Italy.
Oh, he made it.
He died actually in the airport.
Short king, 5'10". But this is the scene where I got confused about who Lucky was. I was like, this is a weird-ass lawyer.
Oh, I got what you're saying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This lawyer is doing some unthinkable things.
Doing the most. For why?
He's just trying to pay off all these government officials.
Well, it made me laugh when was it Thomas?
Thomas Dewey?
Yeah, Thomas Dewey.
By the way, Thomas Dewey is played by William Atherton, famous from playing the asshole in Ghostbusters.
Sure.
Yeah.
And he was the asshole news reporter in Die Hard 1 and 2. Good actor. Great actor. Love seeing him and stuff.
Well, it just cracked me up, but he's He's like, I don't understand why your guy hates me. I'm trying to get him on taxes.
Mhm.
Like, he's like, I have no choice in this. He's like, this, what was it? He was talking to Lucy or Lucky about like their mutual understanding. He's like, listen, I don't want to be friends with you. I don't care about it. This is a business. And I'm just like this. Oh man, this is going to go sideways.
Oh, this is also where we learn Dutch's real name is Arthur Fleckenheimer.
Oh, yeah,
That
that's
is,
right.
oh, I didn't even connect the dots.
When I first watched this, I was confused. They kept mentioning a character named Arthur, and I missed this dialogue. I was, who the fuck is Arthur?
Arthur
That's Dutch's real
Fleckenheimer.
name. He
What
chose.
was
He
it?
chose. He chose a name that would be more. I think it said more intimidating when I
Yeah.
read it online.
The
Yeah.
Fleckenheimer?
Yeah,
Wasn't there a scene where he was just like, yeah, he had to change his name or something like that?
it's in this scene where they're at the whorehouse. Sorry,
Yeah.
brothel, and
Everyone's favorite little whorehouse.
in Texas. But Lucky and Dewey are talking about because Dewey refers to him by his real name,
Mm-hmm.
and he explains like, you know why he chose the name Schultz, right? And he gives the explanation. And I think only one other character calls him Arthur. It's the cop Foley later on. In the scene where we first meet Foley, he refers to him as Arthur.
Oh,
Officer Foley.
Yeah, but Lucky is basically like, or like Corey just said, Dewey tells him like, we're not friends. This is purely beneficial for our best interests.
mm-hmm.
Handle this. And he gets up and he takes the money. And Lucky is like, notice you took the money. Not that high, as much of an upstanding citizen as you think you are.
Mm-hmm. Trying to say you're going to bring justice. I still see you taking that briefcase.
Exactly.
Although, in Dewey's defense, it is the 30s. Everybody's broke.
It's depression, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
And actually, that's the next thing is Illinois basically is telling Bumpy like, look, cousin, this is depression. We gotta do what we can. And he takes him to see Madam Queen, and this is where we meet Erica's favorite character, Whispers.
Yeah.
Mine as well.
I love Whispers.
He was great.
He's so good.
Too bad he's not real.
Yeah.
Like the whole movie, he is just,
He is a ride or die.
Yeah.
he is. And he's sweet.
Like, he got that scar doing something he definitely probably shouldn't have been doing. Like-
Oh, most definitely.
Oh, yeah, he got caught. He got caught behind the line. Or he was with somebody's woman.
Which is probably what happened.
I can feel like that's exactly what happened.
Oh, he was born in South Carolina.
Oh, you took the words out of my mouth. You took the words out of my mouth. He was from Pillion, South Carolina.
That's where my people from.
Paul Benjamin is the man who played Whispers. He just died about 5 years ago.
Oh.
84 years old.
R.I.P., my guy.
Damn.
You know, another thing that shocked me, speaking of South Carolina, when Bumpy, later on, him and Willie, he's like, when I came up from South Carolina,
Yeah.
I was like,
Oh,
what
yeah.
the world? I was like,
Bumpy's from South Carolina, too, yeah.
I was like, South Carolina coming through in this movie.
What part of South Carolina is Bumpy from?
That I do not know.
They just said South Carolina.
Yeah, he mentioned when they were...
Well, you know what? Maybe his mama did call him Bumpy.
was it when they were getting the bomb ready?
Mm-hmm.
He mentioned when I came up from South Carolina?
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. So, we totally forgot to mention, this movie is directed by Mr. Bill Duke.
And he probably should not be directing any other movies.
I hate to say I agree.
Yeah.
Stay in front of the camera.
Yeah.
Anyone would know Bill Duke from the original Predator film.
Oh, so good.
Damn.
He played Mac in Predator. He's the guy near the end where he's, I'm going to have me some fun. I'm going to have me some fun. And he's getting all these guns and shit ready. He also played something Trask in
Oliver
X-Men.
Trask.
Was that?
Oliver Trask.
Is it Oliver?
I'm pretty sure.
Okay. He plays Trask, the guy who came up with the Sentinel program in X-Men 3. He was replaced by one of the best changes ever to a movie, just because it's so funny.
Oh, yeah.
So Bill Duke is like a 6-something bald black gentleman playing this character, and in Days of Futures Past, the same character is played by Peter Dinklage. If you don't know who Peter Dinklage is,
Yeah.
he's like a
Is the proper
4-foot something white guy,
is the proper term dwarf?
Yes.
little person, dwarf,
Little person?
yeah.
Definitely not.
He's the
midget.
best part of Game of Thrones.
The best part.
So yeah, that's pretty funny. You go from Bill Duke to Peter Dinklage.
That's a huge
Change.
Jump.
That's a huge elevation change.
And not even that Bill Duke is bad in the role. Bill Duke's a good actor. Just shouldn't probably be directing.
No.
He was also one of my new favorite movies, Commando. Another Arnold Schwarzenegger film from the 80s.
Is he dead?
Bill Duke? No, luckily Bill Duke is still very much alive. Bill Duke is in his 80s.
Oh, so he's almost dead.
He's born in 43.
Golly.
Yeah.
But yeah, we were just
They're walking through the street.
They're going to see Queen.
there we go. And I tell you what, I went in wholeheartedly, but I went in not trying to look it up or anything like that. Whenever they first showed the Queen, that's like when it really hit me about it feeling like a B grade movie, because just the way the backdrop and everything was, like I was just like, I feel like this is. I was like, oh, I hope this gets better. But I tell you what, Miss Queen Bee, which was who was she as an actress?
Cicely Tyson.
There we go. I tell you right now, I enjoyed her.
I wish
great.
they gave her more to do.
Yes.
I wanted her to be more of a Judi Dench in her James Bond role, where she was putting everybody in their fucking place. I don't really feel like Queen did that a lot, except for when she chews Bumpy out in that interrogation room later. Mm-hmm. I would have loved for her to just be more fierce of a character. But this is where we're introduced to Whispers. He gets introduced to the new guy, Valley. Mm-hmm. It's also a surprise party for Bumpy coming home.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How long has he been home at this point? That they knew to throw him a party.
I mean, they might have just known his release date.
I think it was that same day.
It looks like, I mean, he's wearing the same clothes.
Yeah.
Got the same black suit and that brown
the same
cap.
day.
Yeah, I just assumed it was the same day. But he's kind of pissed that it's a surprise party. He didn't want that. He just wanted to come home and see Queen. But he meets, like I said, he meets Valley. He meets all the guys. And he wants to sit down and talk to Queen privately about the Dutch Schultz problem.
Mm-hmm.
Was he working with the Queen before he went to prison?
I believe so.
I can only assume, yeah, because they're buddy already.
Well, you know, he might have known the family. That might have been his cousin or something.
I can only
That's
assume
a
he
true
was
thing.
working with her before, because we don't even know the circumstances around, other than he killed a man.
Oh, maybe he killed somebody for her.
Could be. We also meet her bodyguard.
First
real
of all,
one.
First of all, when I saw his shirt, when they like showed her for the
Oh,
first
like
time,
he's wearing like a
and
Hawaiian shirt.
I cracked up. First of all,
He's dressed
I
like
was
Ben
gone.
10's grandpa.
yeah,
That's the only way I can describe it.
dude. When I saw him, I geeked so hard just because everybody was like in the typical like 30s attire,
And then there's one guy.
like I mean, Lawrence Fishburne. I loved his outfit when he got out of prison. Like that was the jacket with the like. I forgot what material shirt. I was like, man, I like that. And then I see a
Snazzy.
Hawaiian shirt. I lost it.
No, I love anytime Lawrence Fishburne is in a 3-piece suit.
Oh, like when he had
100%.
his little bowler hat?
When he had the bowler hat, but when he's in the ice cream parlor later on, those 3-piece suits are fire.
Well, what I love is how he always like slides the hand in between two pockets or in two buttons. He doesn't even use the pocket. He just has it rested on the buttons. And I'm like, that's such a boss stance.
Her bodyguard, by the way, is T. Nietzsche.
Yes.
He has
Played by...
he is played by Eddie Bo Smith Jr.
Eddie Bo Smith Jr.
Yep. He doesn't have a French accent,
I think it was like Louisianan.
like maybe Creole or something like that.
like Cajun.
He has a very thick accent, and
Oh,
they tease
yeah.
him for it
Or
every scene he's
Jamaican.
in. Or Jamaican.
Because she had a Jamaican accent.
No, she had more of a
No.
French accent.
Oh, French?
Yeah,
She
she
was
was
more
definitely
French.
screaming in French.
Oh, well, I mean, well, a lot of Louisiana and all that comes from French. Mm-hmm. So I didn't...
Yeah, New
New
Orleans was
not
colonized,
Jamaican.
yeah.
My bad.
Yeah.
Hey, dude, I didn't know who... I didn't know which accent I think it was in this movie, but I mean, I enjoyed it.
If anyone has seen The Fugitive,
You have.
I have. Love that movie. You might recognize Tinichi's character. He's the guy who escapes the bus with Harrison Ford. Harrison Ford basically is like telling him, help me. And he goes, kiss my ass, Doc. And he gets out of the bus. And then they separate. He goes, hey, Copeland. be good. And Copeland just gives them a smile, and they run off. And they start the fugitive hunt. That's where I recognized Tanichi from. I was like, where the fuck have I seen this man? I've seen him somewhere. But he is another one that is a ride or die.
Oh,
Literally.
100%.
He will do anything for the queen. And basically, Bumpy sits down with Queen, and they talk about how she's supposed to have a meeting the next week with Dutch Schultz, and he wants to be there.
Which is weird because I'm like, my guy, you just got out of prison. Let's take a moment. Let's relax. Let's get acclimated to the new world of which we are in.
Nah,
He's ready to go to work.
He's ready to get right back into it. So
I was like,
got out
bro,
of jail,
you
I'm ready to go
just...
back.
I know. I was like, you just got out of prison.
Like, take a moment.
Like, I'm assuming Sing Sing Prison wasn't...
A vacation.
Yeah. But as the movie progresses, I realize why. He's got that drive in him.
Yeah, basically he wants to make sure that she's safe because he doesn't trust Dutch. He knows that he's trying to infringe on her territory. And she has this line of she's never been able to say no to him for anything.
Well, they definitely...
Slept together?
Oh, they fucked for sure.
They go back.
I was not going to say that at all.
I mean, it's a young Cicely Tyson.
Young?
I was not going to say that at
Young
all.
Cicely Tyson.
I think she's in her 70s here.
I'm sorry for putting words in your mouth, Jeremy, but I 100% was
I was on the same line.
There we go.
Getting deja vu.
She agrees to let him come. And
Wait, before we jump to the next scene, I would like to say in this scene, Cicely Tyson's finger curls were on point. They looked so good.
Oh, yes.
Yes.
Everything. I was like this. I was like, that is like, I don't know the process, but I was like, that is
so good.
I don't think that hairdo looks good on anyone.
I love that look. I think it looks so good. I might do it.
Oh,
do it.
after he just said he doesn't like that hairstyle. Like, he's just going to go get it.
I don't think you got too much hair.
I can make it work.
You got a lot of hair up there.
Figure it out.
If you can figure that out with what you got going on, I'd love to see it.
Yeah.
I forgot to add earlier, Bumpy is from Charleston. I don't know if we...
You know
Oh,
what?
okay.
You figured it out. Oh, Charleston?
Yeah, Bumpy was
That
actually...
accent does not parlay.
I don't...
Not
I
at
guess they
all.
couldn't go find some dude from Charleston and was like, hey, you want to play Bumpy Johnson?
Or they could have been like, hey,
Hey, Lawrence, Larry, come here.
let's go visit vacation. Speak to some black people from Charleston.
I don't know. I don't know.
At no point was Bo said.
I don't know. Look, he was just like, "Yo, y'all, you want to go to Charleston and like learn that?" And he's like, "No,
What's in here, Bo?
Nah, I ain't going down there.
I ain't going to Charleston."
If I would've
1999
heard-
Charleston.
I feel like we need a dialect coach or something.
Well, this would have been 96. This movie was probably filmed a year before it came out.
Oh yeah, you're right. 90s Charleston
Uh-huh.
is where that man would have been hanging out.
He would've been okay.
I mean,
He would've been okay.
Bumpy might have come to New York and at a young enough age where he lost that accent.
You might have.
Maybe.
That's true.
You ain't about to take the South out of that man.
You can take the man out of the South, but you can't take the South out of the man. So now we get a nice little scene of Mary and her friend, whose name I don't remember, played by Queen Latifah.
Yeah.
Oh, it's Sully.
Yes.
Okay, yeah.
When I saw Queen Latifah, because my mom's been having me watch the Equalizer show with her, so I'm like on a big Queen Latifah kick right now.
Oh, okay.
But I saw her, I was like, get out of town.
She's so young. Everyone's so young in this movie.
Dude, the cast of this movie is so powerful.
Yeah. It's Queen Latifah like around the time she was doing Living Single, which is my favorite Queen Latifah.
They're talking about what they're gonna, how they're gonna pick their number for the day. Something about potatoes.
Was there like a potato count?
I don't know,
They
but
were looking at a grocery. I think they were looking at like a newspaper that had.
yeah.
Yeah.
And Mary says something. She says this like 3 times. Oh, potatoes give me gas. I'm not voting for anything that gives me gas. Potatoes give me gas. And Illinois, being the fucking weirdo he is, girl, I bet your gas smells like roses. And she goes, don't you try to get out of my good graces.
Did he say smells or tastes?
Smells.
Oh, okay. I swear I thought he said taste.
Oh,
Dude, that man was trying everything he could to get back in her good
He was
graces.
doing everything.
He's a little
And
pain pig. He's like, fart in my mouth.
But I'm not gonna lie, he was smooth about everything.
I mean, Illinois was. I'll give him that. He was trying, too. He really wanted Mary.
She wanted him bad.
She was just making him wait for her.
She had
That's all.
she had to have that power for a little while.
Of course.
She did what she had to do.
Uh-huh. Mm-hmm. And this is where we meet Francine, played by...
Vanessa Williams.
thank you.
Let me tell you what. Vanessa Williams up in this movie?
She...
I tell you right now, I was feeling the same things Lawrence Fishburne was feeling.
I get that. My thing with this is this character did not need to be. I don't need a love story in this
no,
movie.
true. No, true.
This is part of the stuff that just bogs this movie down.
Her character felt a lot like Kay in The Godfather. Except I feel like Vanessa Williams had more to do in this movie than Kay did.
Well, that was like at the beginning. She was running the what was it? The association or whatever.
Oh,
She was helping like the almost like a soup kitchen kind of thing. She was passing out food and stuff in that like old nurse outfit, the white dress with the little cap.
Mm-hmm.
And like for
She's an educated woman. She's very intelligent.
Oh, very. But then like out of nowhere, she switched so fast.
Well, after she kills that, but yeah, she was like, oh, well.
She got her hands dirty. She got a taste for it.
Give me all this jewelry.
Her and Bumpy's first meeting was pretty funny.
Yes.
I love that line.
That's what had me driving for her. I was like this. Oh, I like that back talk.
Erica and I have been quoting this
or that banter
all weekend. Of when he introduces himself to Francine, he's like, "Ma'am, my name's Bumpy Johnson," and she goes, "Your mama named you Bumpy?" Not impressed with this motherfucker one bit. You're gonna have to try fucking harder to get me.
But like, I like that line simply because it's a line I have definitely used. Like, I refuse to call people a nickname. Do not introduce me as some weird nickname. You know, if your name is Juicy, what your mama call you? Because I am not about to call you Juicy. No grown man named Juicy.
Definitely not.
Your mama calls you Bumpy? But it's funny because later on in the movie, she calls him Bumpy.
Yeah.
I think she only addresses him by his real name, Ellsworth, in one scene.
When she's mad with him.
No, in the club.
No, she
the next time they talk.
She says it, I think, at the end, too.
Oh, okay, I missed that.
I think. But, hey, when she was walking away, she sure did turn around to see if he was looking. So he knew immediately. He's like this.
Yeah, she doesn't want anything to do with them and their criminal exploits. She doesn't want shit to do with it.
Lies. She's captivated by it.
Eventually.
She wants a taste of the dark side. Well, no, because he's like Robin. They're taking back from the bad and giving to the good.
He wants to feel Robin Hood, but I don't think he is actually.
At the beginning.
Yeah.
At the beginning, he's Robin Hood.
I think that's how he gets her.
Mm-hmm.
But with his...
the poetry and the actual more sophisticated side of him, not the, I'm about to go shoot a bunch of people up.
That's true.
Actually being a human.
And,
like what
his
she
face
said.
card is delightful in this. With his little line mustache.
And his little
have you
soul
seen
patch.
the picture of the actual Bumpy?
No, was he a good looking fella?
Here you go. Oh, no, never mind.
He looked kind of mean.
I'm okay with that.
There you go.
Oh, he looked like somebody daddy.
What is it?
I mean, he was... Actually, I don't know what old age he was when this picture was...
I don't know. Bumpy died at like 60-something, I think. He had a heart attack.
Yeah.
From the drugs running.
I don't. He was in a diner.
Oh.
It was like
cholesterol.
Like a Denny's.
Could have been.
That picture was taken in 1954.
Okay, so that was right before he died. He died in like... I'm sorry, about 10 years before he died. Sorry.
Looking like somebody daddy.
But basically, like that night, Bumpy's asking Illinois about Francine. And he's like trying to wire up the electricity in his apartment to the sign outside the window.
Oh, dude,
which
that
is
was
great.
the smartest fucking hack. I was like, I need to do that shit if I ever get an
But my
apartment or
favorite
something.
part is like they get the they jerry-rig the electricity into the house, right? Mm-hmm. And then the lights come on, and then they start stamping the floor because all the roaches. And I'm like, y'all ain't feel these roaches before?
Oh man, they're like cornflakes.
They didn't know.
I just
he
love-
definitely did say that.
I just love like the out of shot stomping, and
Right?
like a lot of the out of shot actions were so misplaced. Like you could see that they weren't actually doing what they were doing. You know what I mean? It was like It cracked me up.
You're not stepping on anything. You're not fooling me.
It's just like this. Oh man. Oh
Man, damn roaches. But he's kind of he's like, well, how do I get into Francine's good graces? He goes, cousin, you better not make that. No, never mind. He's like, don't you worry about that. That's not gonna happen.
He's like, she ain't trying to be with us.
Right. He goes, I just want to have a conversation with her. He goes, I bet you want to have a nice long conversation with her. And then Illinois is basically like, I'm happy you're home. I'm glad you're finally out of jail, and I got you a little something. There's nothing new, and he gives him this little revolver. And it has this shot of Bumpy like aiming it toward the camera, and we use that exact same shot in a montage later on in the movie. Mm-hmm. They use a couple repeated shots in montages. Most of the montage is stuff that is happening during the montage, but they just slap a couple flashbacks in there to show us
they did
other shit that happened.
They did like a flashback of that same situation right after it.
Yeah, like
They replayed it right after he did it. It was like, ooh, talks for a second. Ooh.
But they do it in slow-mo, and I'm like, why didn't we repeat this? What was the thought process for this one moment? Because I don't understand.
Was that there?
Thank God they showed me him getting that gun again. I forgot already.
And like the music like slows down, and it's like, what are we doing here? What? Why?
I just love. It just cranked me up.
I was not expecting that montage either.
At all.
Like at all.
After we get this nice little moment between Bumpy and Illinois, we go to the meeting between Queen and Dutch, and Dutch has like 3 of his goons behind him, and Queen has about 4 of her guys, and basically she's telling Dutch like, "Look, I'm not gonna sell out to you. This is my territory. Stay out of it. I'm not trying to have a fight with you. I'm just telling you, this is mine. I'm not giving it to you." And he has some comment about Henry. I forgot his last name. Henry, came to me and said something like that. Said he had really big balls.
Yeah.
Oh, dude.
And he sure did. And he pulls this man's testicles
out of his
suit pocket.
And I was like, you gotta throw the whole suit away after that. There's no way you're getting the balls scent and feel from your pocket.
First of all,
hey boss, you smell like nuts today.
I 100% thought he was gonna like drop the sack with nuts in it. Just the actual
no purse,
testicles
just the coins.
I was just like, oh my gosh. And I loved how I forgot his name.
Oh, Tanichi
just whips the shotgun.
Immediately.
The guns
He's like,
came out. As soon as he did that, the guns came out.
He's like Denzel in Training Day. He's got the bitch.
All day.
He's ready to fire that thing.
He's surgical with that shit.
Oh,
Yes.
But then, like,
Whisper had the 2.
right?
Yeah.
But
They were crossed.
Whisper always has those twin pistols.
He always has them.
they were crossed. Like, when I saw that, I was like, Whisper's probably the only person in this room that don't need to be holding these.
Whisper probably needs to put the glasses on before he starts shooting.
He was ready.
That was my thing. I was like, Whisper. I think Whisper was the one that needed a lazy eye. 'Cause he's like this.
He might not have known who to put the gun. Like, he had one here, and then he had
He was
one on
looking
this
at
side.
2
He was
people.
like,
He's like, oh, I should have definitely done this the other way.
I don't know which guy I want to shoot.
Bumpy, can you get my glasses out of my pocket? I can't see who I'm aiming at.
I'm gonna tell you a joke. I pointed at one man.
So anyway, I started blasting.
Oh, shit.
Whispers is the best character in this movie.
So good.
First of all, their makeup on his slit throat was really good.
that big scar?
Yeah,
Yeah,
that
it was
was
pretty good.
actually really good.
It was pretty good. Also, I like Tim Roth has a thing about Queen telling him that, putting him in his place. Mm-hmm. And he goes, do I look like the fucking devil? Do I got horns on my head or something? And then he's like, don't feel nothing.
I really thought there was going to be like more like ball chopping off in this movie. Like once that one ball, like that one scene with the balls came out, I was like, oh, okay, that's where we are. You can't really step back from that. And apparently they did, because I was like, oh, we're chopping balls off. I'm chopping everybody's balls off.
There's gonna be a lot of torture with
She
some.
did say that she didn't have any to chop off.
That's true.
She has that. She has that great line.
That's a good line.
The good thing is,
We don't have any to chop off. I was like, yes, ma'am.
she says it very close to that. She's like, me ain't got no balls to cut off or something like that. Mm-hmm. But I do like when they're pointing the guns. Lulu is pointing right at Queen, and all the guys are pretty much pointing at Dutch, except for Whispers. Whispers has the guns on the other guys. And Lawrence Fishburne doesn't pull his gun out, though. Lawrence Fishburne is still cool as can be. And he tells Bub, he's like, Bub, if you're going to point at me, you might want to aim a little lower. We don't want to make a mess.
He's like, aim at the heart.
Yeah.
Yeah, at the heart.
I loved it because he 100%. You could look at that revolver, and I was like, I don't even think you're gonna hit his head.
And
I think that thing.
Dutch immediately realized in that whole situation that Bumpy was the one to look out for.
Oh, 100. He said it when they were walking away.
I love when they're walking away. They're not even out of the room yet, and they're having that conversation you have like once you're gone. But him and his guys get up and like, that's gonna be a problem. Like, oh, we can handle it. Not her.
Yep. He knew immediately. He's like, okay, that guy right there, he's a fucking problem. That guy ain't even pull his gun out.
But
He didn't even flinch.
Mm-hmm.
I also feel like this is the moment where we're like, oh, Bub really doesn't want to do this.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
But
Because he was being led by an extreme racist.
Which he very much hated.
Yes.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah. It was kind of like, it felt like one of those things where Bub was just being submissive so that
He could have money for his family.
yeah, he was trying to just take care of his family and shit, and he really fucking hated it.
Or he's biding his time.
Oh, okay.
Because he was like, there's no way this could last.
100%. Especially once Bumpy came in.
Well, he was making a lot of enemies while he was biding his time.
Yeah.
Very true statement.
Yes, he got lucky that
No
Dutch
one
doesn't
else.
kill him later when he can.
Very lucky.
I think then we go to the Bamville Club, and the ladies are there. We got Mary, Francine, and
Sully.
Sully. I was gonna call her Queen Latifah. And Bumpy and Illinois walk in, and the ladies notice them.
Yeah.
And the guys come up, and Illinois immediately is trying to sweet talk Mary, and she's telling him, "Did I tell you to stop with that shit?" And
He's like, come on.
And Francine's annoyed. She's like, I just want to hang out with my girls. And these guys are here.
because
Because she was talking about Bumpy.
Yes.
And
Mary's like basically like, "Girl, you know you're interested in him."
Mm-hmm. And then he comes in
Yep.
all suave as shit.
Yeah, because even I cannot remember her name.
Sully.
Sully.
Mm-hmm.
Sully.
I
is
almost thought it was Sully, like on Avatar.
I almost said Lucy. She says, there's a shortage of good men in Harlem.
Because she was like, why does he have to be bad? Why do he have to go to prison? Why does he have to do this? She's like, and they're on the side that she can't think of, I guess, yet, because she hasn't experienced it. And they're like, girl, you don't understand what he's been doing. They're like, he's a hero. And she's like,
It's funny, though, because when they get to the table, Illinois asks Mary to dance, and she goes, I guess I can dance. Sully wants to dance, too.
Right?
And she goes, no, I don't, girl, my feet hurt. And she goes, no, you want to dance. Come on. Oh, yeah, who wouldn't want to dance with Illinois? And you can see the three of them dancing together later, and Bumpy sits down to talk to Francine, and she goes, they told me about you, Mr. Ellsworth Bumpy Johnson.
Damn. Call his whole government.
For real.
His whole name.
Ellsworth.
Ellsworth.
And he basically is like, he's trying to sweet talk her, and he manages to get her to go out on the floor and dance, and then I think he walks her home in the rain.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it runs her home really with the way they're moving through.
That's fair.
I like how he always stood on that business because he's like, listen, I like you, and I'm pretty sure I can tell you like me too. So dance with me.
Even though we had one passing moment on the sidewalk.
Exactly.
This is why this love story is so out of place.
You let me look at your butt one time.
Well, maybe it's a love at first sight situation.
Maybe they didn't have a whole lot of,
Yeah.
bullshit in between. It's just like, I like how you look. But they don't drag out the dating phase for
No.
4 months. It's like, hey, I like you. I'm not bullshitting.
That's true. Back in the day, yeah.
Yeah, it's dragged way out.
I mean,
now.
look what we got in The Godfather, when Michael is dating Apollonia or courting Apollonia. We get lots of scenes of them walking through the village with her family. They're sitting down at meals with her family. All this courting stuff that we got in that movie, we didn't get any of that here. Yet somehow here it felt longer. It made the movie feel longer,
No, it's true.
which sucks because this movie has such a good cast behind it.
I think they were trying to add that in to kind of humanize the character a little bit more so you don't
feel like it's just action.
Yeah, you don't feel like it's just, all right, this dude is just some gangster who he got out of prison, immediately goes right back into doing the
What he
shit
was
that got
doing.
him in there.
And see, I feel like that we were already kind of getting that because bit of a jump ahead a little bit when Bumpy assumes control. He's very what's the word I'm looking for?
Authoritarian.
Authoritarian, but he's also very in control.
Yeah.
He's not acting on emotion. He's like, look, Queen told us no bloodshed. That's what we're gonna do.
And he doesn't.
He doesn't.
That
Eventually.
immediately breaks
Eventually. But his initial plan is we're gonna follow what Queen said, no bloodshed. But eventually he does. After that montage we get later on, he's like, no, we're going to war.
And honestly, you could kind of get the vibe that it is possible that he just kind of said no bloodshed initially to get everybody to kind of follow him. And then gradually he was just like, all right, we're shooting people now. We're going full. And then honestly, when he talks to Queenie later, she's just kind of just like, I knew from the beginning. You kind of just had this great ambition.
Yeah.
To get to this point. So she's just like, I knew it was coming.
So you're the king now.
Yeah. So she knew it was coming the whole time. And honestly, without humanizing the character a little bit, you could get the impression that this was just a gangster who had every intention to come in, take over, kill as many people as he had to get there.
I see that.
Yeah, you had to, I guess,
Yeah.
Vanessa Williams'
You had to
character,
soften him.
Yeah, and also to show, like, he does actually respect women. He's not just coming in and taking this great operation from this really powerful woman.
Yeah, because without that first scene where they literally tell you about his better qualities, and without having the love interest in there, you wouldn't have known any of that. He would have just been a gangster.
I figured he just got.
You would have never known there was a
corrupted with
sophisticated
power.
side to him.
Where they literally just drop exposition and then like, okay, bye.
Yeah. No, that's all completely valid. My thing is just this movie feels
It feels
too
forever.
long
It is
for
definitely
what it is.
Yeah, it definitely is.
But
longer
no,
than
what
it
you
needs
guys
to be.
just said is excellent points.
But yeah, they had to humanize him a little bit. Otherwise, just like he's just an awful gangster.
Could give him a small child to take care of.
Make him a single dad who loves his kids and never stops. He works 2 jobs also.
Wow. So
don't work.
he drops Francine off at home and
Very respectful, especially to nowadays terms. But like, not even trying to kiss, not even trying to do anything. He's literally dropping her off and being a genuine gentleman.
Well, I feel like Francine wouldn't have had any of that.
Oh,
She was
no.
like,
Oh, no,
yeah.
100%.
Francine is a classy lady.
He had to work for it.
Well, that's what I mean. He wasn't he was on that wavelength.
He knew what he was doing. He's like, I know who I'm talking to right now. He was trying to get her numbers, if you know what I mean.
Wow.
Ran the numbers.
But he drops her off. He recites her a little poetry and impresses her a little bit.
Yeah,
Smooth.
Smooth.
real smooth. And that's when he gets all excited. He puts his coat on. He runs back home.
He was standing in the rain with no coat on, talking to this woman.
Right?
He
He's
really
like
wanted
Gene
her.
Kelly from Singing in the Rain. He's on the lamppost.
He really wanted her. I'm like, bro, put your coat back on. You're getting all kinds of wet.
But also we get, and this kind of doesn't lead to anything, but Bub is following him.
Oh, man, yes. I didn't know what was. I thought they were about to go down an alley. I was like, there's no way Lawrence
I think
Fishburne's
the,
going to die right now.
There's one line which you didn't really need that scene for it, but there's one line that Dutch has later when he says, "We know where your girl lives."
Oh, when he's in the Cotton Club?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We know where she lives is because Bub saw her go home.
Yeah. But it comes to nothing.
Yeah, it
in
comes
the
to
long
nothing,
run.
but
Because by
it never
that
plays
time,
into anything.
Yeah.
Because that time they're living together.
Yeah.
I think he moved her after he heard them say, "We know where your girl lives." I think he moved her out of there.
Oh, yeah. That's very,
So
very possible.
They
yeah.
didn't really push it in your face, but they kind of added that in just so somebody was like, "Well, how do they know where she lives?" Oh, because Bub saw.
Well, I think it also helps to add just a little bit of tension in that moment. Like, you
Yeah.
have this sweet moment of nothing crazy's going on. And our main character drops his new love interest off at home. Next thing we see, the main villain's right-hand man right there. All right. What the hell is that going to...
Let's remind you, this is
Something
a
bad could
mobster.
happen. Next, it is Queen's birthday. And they're getting ready to go to the opera. All the guys are out front of her stoop gambling. They're throwing dice and shit. Using
I
their
knew.
guns as paperweights.
I knew immediately there was about to be a scene. Because this is right after she said no to joining.
Yep.
I was
She told Dutch, like, you're not getting my business.
Yep.
Yeah.
I like she comes out and she's like, stop throwing them dice on my stoop. Mm-hmm. Now, Bumpy, come help an old lady down the stairs.
that's what cracked me up. I was like, let these men gamble.
But then, like, also her outfit is insane in this. It looks
is.
like a super old timey, like, silk nightgown.
Well, oddly enough, it is super old timey.
Yeah, but like older.
Older old timey.
Yeah.
It was the 30s.
I mean, I think it looks
Yeah.
pretty appropriate. It looks kind of like a flapper outfit.
Nah.
She had her own style. They had to give her own unique style. So when you saw her, you're just like, that's the queen right there.
And this whole time, it gets a lot of emphasis on Tanichi. Mm-hmm. Like him looking around.
Well, that's
while they're
why-
gambling, they're getting in the car.
That's what had me on edge immediately when I saw his aura. I was just like, man, this
His
man's
body
on.
language. He
There we
was
go.
very alert.
Thank you.
It was a good scene for him because he's just like, man, blow on my dice. And he's just standing there like, no,
Oh,
I don't
man.
do shit like that. It's like, come on, man, blow on my fucking
But
They
dice.
get him to smile.
Yeah, they got him to smile. I was like, okay, I like this scene.
But what cracked me up is like, he was like, nah, I don't do it like that. And I didn't know if it was for like superstitious. And then he blew him in the most sus way. Like he went like this. Did you see it? He went like this. I was like this. I was like, you can't say you ain't doing it, then you do it that way.
He knew what he was doing.
It cracked me up. It was such a you could hear everybody having like a real laugh
yeah.
with that scene.
Like, come on, have some fun, man. You always just standing there like a statue.
He's serious.
And he's
Yeah.
a big dude.
He is a big ass dude.
I do like when they come down the stairs. Illinois tells the queen she looks as pretty as one of those African violets.
Yeah.
And she's like, I don't need me bum kissed. She's like, shut up.
He is the epitome of a brown nose.
Especially for Pigfoot.
Yes.
Oh my god.
He had to get it back. He's like, you gonna take away my treats, my good loving,
My goodies.
not my goodies, not my goodies.
Oh, that's what he wanted. He wanted the goodies. So they're on the way to the opera for Queen's birthday. She mentioned something about she hasn't missed an opera in 16 years.
Yeah. Which was more foreshadowing.
You better miss this one.
I thought
But they come across this intersection where a cop is like blocking the road. There's a big truck backing up, and this cop just pulls out his gun and shoots the driver.
because
Immediately he dies.
because Lawrence,
headshot.
Lawrence Fishburne is like looking around and they're talking, him and Queen, and I was like, when is this going to happen? And then he sees Bub in the car in front of him.
That's one of the funniest
Or behind
things.
him.
No, it's in front of him because Bub turns to look out
Yep.
the back window, and it's just like, "Hello, remember me?"
And that's what like threw me off. I was like, somehow he's seeing Bub in the car looking back at him, but then immediately in front of them is the cop. But I was like, where's the direct shot at?
I was very confused, like, who was going to shoot first? Because I was like, okay, are they going to, like, do, like, a drive-by situation? Like, how do we deal with this?
Well, it's got the truck backing up. Mm-hmm. You got the cop in the intersection, and then Bub and his guys just come around the corner at the intersection.
There we go.
So they come
Yeah,
around
yeah,
that
yeah.
corner, so they're lined up with Queen's car.
Yeah.
So the cop shoots the driver. Tanichi shoots the cop.
Yep.
There's other guys that come out on the sides. They shoot all the guys in their backup car.
Yeah. Oh man, this
But,
scene
like-
Light
was
them up.
great.
Like, Tanishi takes so many rounds
He
where
does.
I was like, oh my god, this is another Sonny from a Godfather situation. But unlike Sonny,
He
Tanishi
comes out
gets
blasting.
out the car with the shotgun and just lays everybody down. And I'm like, holy shit.
He's like, you ain't letting me. I ain't going down this easy. This is my queen.
And then that one motherfucker walks up behind him just like a hot dog vendor and shoots him in the back a couple
Yeah.
times.
Piece of shit. Just
Yeah, it's funny though because when two of the guys die from their backup car, like one guy's laying across the hood, one guy's laying across the grill. They both simultaneously die.
at the same time.
Yeah, both of them just like.
It's like after Tanishi dies.
Yeah.
Like they're like holding on, not doing anything. This man's got 30 rounds in him already, still shooting back.
Yes.
And I'm like, first of all, y'all punks. And then he's like trying to do everything, and he just finally
Like, I
big
was
mountain
like,
fell.
this man could take a bullet. Denzel could never.
Hey, that's facts.
He was huge.
Yeah.
He's a big guy.
But the part that gets me also is, so they're shooting everybody and shooting at the car. Yet Lawrence Fishburne's like lays Cicely Tyson down on the ground, and he's like, "Stay down."
The floor of the back seat.
Yeah, and I'm like, did no one? But he's still leaning up against the door. So I'm like, did he not get hit at all in any of this?
How did none of those bullets clip him and her while they're inside?
This is your classic Hollywood movie car, where because it's a car and it's made of metal, it's bulletproof. Because if anyone has ever seen the photograph of Bonnie and Clyde's car,
it's shredded.
Looks like string cheese. Same time period, roughly.
Oh yeah, 100%.
So, classic bulletproof cars for the good guys.
For the back seat.
For the back seat.
Specifically the back seat.
Specifically.
Two of the goons come around the sides of the car to get Queen. Lawrence Fishburne's in the back with a gun. Bumpy shoots one of them. One of the guys from the other car
clips
shoots
another guy.
Yes, and then Whisper shows up, I think.
Whispers.
Whisper with the
dual
wheel pistols.
Dual wielding.
Through the car window. He's just like,
bam, 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 bam.
I love
Bub
it.
is shooting at them with a shotgun. Bumpy gets out, grabs Tanichi's shotgun,
and then
shoots two at the truck. The truck explodes immediately.
And I was like,
a canvas truck.
What is in the back of this truck?
That's exactly what I said.
Straight gasoline.
That's why I was just like, it must be some really cheap fucking liquor in the back of that fucking thing.
Had to be.
I mean, that thing went off like a bomb. It is like this. So you knew there was explosives in there. Because it's like he tried to shoot the driver, and it's like an old school shotgun that probably had whatever round in it, so it didn't even phase him.
But yeah, I'm sure they was like, we need to figure out how we're going to put like an exclamation mark on this scene. Like, oh, you have this shit right here, blow up. Like,
what's going to end this?
Blow up the truck.
Like, my thought was like, oh, Michael Bay must have just stepped in for this one scene and then popped out.
But
I'll show you what an explosion is.
Lawrence, Bumpy grabs a Tommy gun. He starts shooting at Bub. Bub gets in the car, drives away. And Queen comes out and starts crying over Tanichi. And they scoop her up and they get out of there.
The way that they handled the Tommy guns in this scene, I loved it. Because they just wholeheartedly said, F it, and just laid it down and just sprayed around. I was like, first of all, there's probably 30 civilians dead. At least. Because
nobody else was on the street.
They shot everywhere.
Tommy guns, famously known for being inaccurate. And he's just holding down that trigger in the middle of the street.
And letting it go in about a 90-degree angle.
Yeah. So, bullets for everybody.
Mm-hmm.
Dewey calls Lucky at his home. Mm-hmm. He's got like 5 naked ladies swimming in his pool. And he's got his accountant, Johnny, there.
Yeah, I was so confused. I thought it was just like his mistress, and then it's like a whole swim team in an athletic or an Olympic pool.
It's a big pool.
Yeah.
I honestly didn't know how to like take that scene because like I don't know, they looked young, and I was like,
are these children?
Yeah, I was like, is this guy like also creeping on this side too? I was like, God almighty.
But basically, Dewey is like, look, he just caused a complete bloodbath in the middle of the street, so I need you to handle this. Otherwise, I'm not going to be able to do my job and keep this under wraps.
Because every time something's happening where he's like, hey, he needs to be under control, he's like, nah, don't you worry about it. I got it under control. And it escalates to a whole, not even one level. It jumps 5.
Right. But this is also like the moment where I was also more confused because I was like, why is this lawyer having these naked women swim for him?
What kind of money?
Yeah. I was like, oh, he's got to be on the take because...
No, it's for a case.
I
was so confused.
Lucky's asking Johnny like about his books.
Johnny's his accountant, right?
Yeah, Johnny's just his accountant.
Mm-hmm.
I love Johnny in this scene. He is so nervous this whole time.
He wants a woman so bad. Yeah. But he's like this. You want to go swim? I've never learned.
Another fun thing, the guy who plays Johnny, I forget the actor's name. He also played Lucky Luciano earlier in the 90s.
So they just keep having people who've played other roles be in...
They just recycling everybody.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Oh, you were in this movie about Bumpy Johnson. Do you want to play Bumpy Johnson? Hey, we're making a movie where Lucky Luciano's in it. You played Lucky. Do you want to be in this?
Do you want to be his accountant?
Yeah. Johnny?
they don't really have to change much, I guess. It's like you're just gonna be playing that same character from this movie. It's like, all right,
You know his likeness. Make it work.
you got this.
David Darlow is the actor that plays Johnny.
Is he still alive?
Yes, he is still alive.
Good for him.
Is he?
He was born in 1943.
Oh.
Dang, so he's 80 something?
Yeah, he's from Jerusalem.
Oh.
Wow.
He's from Jerusalem?
He was born in Jerusalem, according to IMDb.
But yeah, so,
He mentions he can't swim,
mm-hmm.
and but they're going over the books, and he mentions something about Dutch's money is good, like it's making profit.
Mm-hmm.
So there was some comment earlier about how the Italians did not want the money from the black communities because it wasn't worth it.
He's like, it doesn't matter to me. $1's a dollar.
Yeah, Dutch says that.
Mm-hmm.
And now that Lucky is looking at the numbers, he realizes, no, there is money to be made in Harlem,
Oh,
in the
yeah.
black community. So now they're like, all right, now we need to figure this out.
Wait, this is actually a big deal. We actually do need to step in.
Uh-huh.
Trifling. Every time.
So now that Dutch has retaliated and hurt Queen, Bumpy and Illinois do something very bad.
Wait, before that, or we get there, I like that scene where after everything, it cuts to Bumpy and Queen sitting on the couch.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, in complete silence.
Complete silence, and they're just sitting there holding-
listening to opera
Yeah.
since they missed it.
And they're covered in blood.
Yep.
Just
What the fuck happened?
Yeah, you could tell like they are both severely traumatized.
Oh yeah. Wow. Mm-hmm. Wow. Goddamn.
What?
Sir, please share with the class.
I'm reading about when the numbers game started, because I'm just like, did she start this or did she just like
somehow dive
like
into
started
it.
in her area and it got like really? She was the first one in her area to start really big, and I'm reading about it and reading about what it was commonly referred to in Boston as a N-word pool.
Oh.
Yeah.
That sounds right for Boston.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Due to its popularity in black neighborhoods.
Heaven forbid somebody trying to make money. Like, I don't understand it. Because they're probably doing the same shit.
They are.
Like,
Dutch is doing the exact
it's
same
illegal
thing.
gambling.
Exactly.
They're just like, hey, you buy this, and if your number gets pulled, you get this money. And it's like, oh, yeah, of course. They literally were playing lottery.
That's exactly
Their own lottery.
Yeah, it was. They just made up their own lottery.
Yep.
And apparently,
Somehow.
Madam Queen invested $10,000 of her own money at the time to start hers up.
Damn.
Yeah, so it was just like
That's a lot of money for that time.
for that
Oh,
time, 'cause people were
100%.
That is so much money because there's a line when we first meet Francine that Illinois says that $6 is a month's worth of groceries.
So she
What
invested
was that?
$6
$6.
is a month's worth of groceries.
Oh,
That's why they had all that change on the tables
Yep.
and shit like that. Because
Yep.
whenever they were playing the numbers, they would literally just bring some change, and that's what like how much they would bet.
a
or
family
whatever.
can't even get food for a week under 100.
Oh no, not now. You ain't getting. You ain't nothing for
As,
$6.
and
as
a
they
month
say
was
later in this movie,
$6.
we live in inflationary times.
Oh, yeah, the ice pickmen or whatever.
Yep.
We live in inflationary times.
Oh boy, do we.
Man, those were also... When we get to that part, I can't wait because...
Interesting characters.
My bad. Continue.
Oh,
No,
no, you're
that's-
good.
yeah,
No, you're good.
man.
I enjoy talking about this movie because this movie was just so goodly wild.
I think this movie
For
would have
me.
been even better if there was less fiction in it and more about the actual real characters.
Or I think if there was a better director.
100%.
Better budget.
One of the criticisms of the movie is that the historical inaccuracies were wild, and the movie's budget was $30 million.
It was $30 million?
Yeah, I don't think it made back $30 million either.
That's a lot. Especially when it was made.
Yeah, I don't think it made $30 million at the box office.
Okay, so this movie's budget was $30 million, and its box office was $23.4 million. So they lost almost $7 million on this movie. They didn't even break even.
Damn.
How did...
Well, you saw this movie. I think.
Oh no! Oh,
Okay.
oh no! It just
you
like
can't
it,
figure out how they spent $30 million on this movie, and
Yes.
we got what we got.
that's what
Kinda-
I'm like. This I'm like, where? I guess it was spent for mainly the actors and actresses that were in it was the biggest part.
So I think like you were saying, if there was more of a focus on Madam Queen herself, it probably would have been. It honestly would have been. Probably would have been a lot better movie, but I guess they were just like, oh, we got these male leads. We need to have this, like, Lawrence Fishburne is in this movie. So
It's about men.
this has got to be about Bumpy. This is about gangsters.
I really feel like they were trying to do like a Black Godfather.
That's
Very
Well,
much.
That's very important or very crucial. You say that. There's a show on MGM Plus. So there's a show on there called The Godfather of Harlem, which
shut the fuck up.
which is
Excuse my language.
oh, you're fine.
Okay.
Which Corey, have you not heard the way I speak?
I,
Corey, have you been on this podcast?
I've just
You've
never
been in my home.
I've just never known if I go too far or not. So
You're fine. We're fine with the word fuck. But on MGM Plus, there is a show called The Godfather of Harlem
I wanna watch this.
that stars Forrest Whitaker
Oh,
playing Bumpy Johnson. And from the few
Forrest
clips of
Whitaker.
it I've seen, he is a scarier Bumpy than Lawrence Fishburne.
I can see that. For Lawrence Fishburne to me as this Bumpy was like,
He's also playing an older Bumpy
Yeah, I was like, he is just starting out.
in this. In Godfather of Harlem, it's set, like, I want to say in the last 10 years of his life.
well, no, like this one, like I've always loved Lawrence Fishburne in a lot of his roles, but when I watched this role, it's like he was reaching for something. I don't know how to describe it. Like he was trying to, like, whenever it had the romantic or emotional side, it was almost like he was reaching more on that side of trying to tame it. But all the other
It
aspects,
didn't feel like natural.
right?
He was
All the
very
other
smart.
aspects were amazing, but like that side, it was like he was being very like overly emotion. I don't know how to describe it.
He
in
was
my
very
head.
subdued in a lot of scenes too.
Like, the only time he
That's-
raises his voice is when he goes off on Illinois later on.
Yeah,
Other
and
than that, he never yells in this movie.
I think that's about the time, or around the time where he like turns on Queen, and when he like starts yelling at Illinois is when I'm like, okay, I can see him becoming the Forrest Whitaker version.
But he never fully gets there to me.
Yeah,
Like,
well,
he at no point in this movie is truly... Like how Michael becomes very blatantly evil in The Godfather. Bumpy in this film never fully gets there for me. I feel like... Kind of like what Corey was just saying, he's a little held back. I feel like they should have really given him that villain moment.
They like almost had it, but it wasn't villainous enough.
They always try to keep him as a hero.
As he's
a
got
morally
that-
upstanding guy.
Yeah, that's a great way to describe it. But in reality,
He's not.
he's not.
He's the
He's
head
a criminal,
honcho.
and
Yeah.
he's a murderer and all this stuff. Like, I think the most evil thing he does is he makes Jimmy eat that ice cream.
Which I wasn't expecting him to actually make him eat the ice.
No,
Yeah,
me neither.
Me neither. I can't wait for that. Yeah. Oh yeah.
Would have loved a more fierce performance from Fishburne in this movie.
It's probably because it was him. The reason that they didn't go that direction is because he was the one. Like, they didn't want that actor to be in that light at that time.
Well, hadn't he already played Ike Turner at this time?
I don't know.
And what's love got to do with it?
Maybe? No. This is 97?
It's 97.
It's around this time.
You got a young babyface Angela Bassett in that movie, too.
93, yeah.
So, yeah, he's already played Ike Turner. Ike Turner's as bad as you can get.
That's a true statement.
That's a good point.
Oh yeah, nonetheless.
But, I mean, again, like we've been saying, the cast in this movie is
Impeccable.
Great. They just weren't given the best stuff to work with.
I
I
agree
know
with
they
that.
could have turned it on and made it something
Oh yeah.
so much better.
All of these actor and actresses have phenomenal talent.
Yeah.
It's been shown multiple times.
The only person I will say in this movie who did not get put on that kind of leash was Whispers.
They let Whispers go wild, and I love that for him.
I fucking love Whispers.
Tell me a joke. All right. So Bumpy and Illinois are getting a little revenge on Dutch. they go to one of his stash houses where they
And-
collect the slips.
And tell me this isn't like, in my mind, this is like the best option of revenge.
Mm-hmm.
You're not killing anybody. You're not really doing anything, that law viewing bad.
Money can be replaced.
Exactly. I thought this was and this is like how they always talk about Bumpy playing chess. This, in my mind, was showing true ways of that, because his immediate action wasn't emotional. It was strategic with, let's go take their money now.
We're going to show you that we can hurt you without killing anyone.
Yeah.
And they do. They it's funny because the guy walks in to the house to collect the little business to collect the money. And Illinois is sitting at the desk smoking a cigar, and he's got his foot on a guy down below
With the
desk.
revolver.
With
at
the-
his
right at
face.
him.
Yeah.
He's like,
The guy's like, "Where's Hector?" "Oh, I don't know, boss. He said he was going out to get some rice and beans." You go, "Well, when's he coming back?" "Oh, I don't know about that." And
then,
Bumpy comes out with the bag of money, and he just punches this guy in the mouth. And he's like, "I'm the bag man." And they go out and they hit the guy that's driving the truck, drag him out, steal the whole truck.
first of all, those punches were the worst things I've ever seen.
I don't know who was the fight coordinator in this movie. But
I'll tell you right
needed
now.
to hire a new one.
Because he reached back from the deep south
I laughed so hard.
and punched him in the face, and then did it again and punched him in the face, and then he just like, it reminded me of Grand Theft Auto.
Yeah, the way they shot the scene, like, wasn't it still in the shop when
Yes.
they went out there, and then they're just standing by the truck, and I'm like, what's happening? And then the next thing you know, you just hear these fucking stock punch sounds. And I was just like, what the fuck?
I was expecting to see pow, bam.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
what is that, an onomatopoeia?
Yeah.
You see the sound
Yeah.
effect?
But
Wow.
I loved it.
I had a good laugh.
But it was
Yeah, they steal the truck, though, and they drive it to the little soup kitchen area where
Francine.
is working. And they're like, folks, this is a little gift from Madam Queen with special thanks or something to Dutch Schultz. And they start throwing all the money to these people.
Which is obnoxious.
Yes.
Like, there's got to be a better way to give this money out. Because I was like, y'all just yeeting it to the streets? No.
Y'all just throwing coins and
I don't know.
quarters.
I don't know what better way they could have gave the money out. As soon as you yell free money and somebody comes running up, you think that first person is just gonna take some and then walk off? And
Well,
let
or
other people
like-
take some?
I got my quarters. I'm good.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie, I'm getting in that. I'm getting in that front
Or
seat.
maybe,
I'm driving.
like, hand it out to people?
No, because the people who you're handing it out to, they're not gonna get out of the way so somebody else can get some money. They're just gonna keep grabbing some.
I'm not gonna lie. When I was helping my youth group feed the homeless, it's a very similar situation.
Yeah,
it's
they
like-
had to just throw it on everybody.
They were just like, "Listen, we're going. You can collect it if it gets bad down there, but just know we giving it out."
Corey's out there just throwing cheese puffs to the homeless. Here, go get it. Eat your cheese puffs.
We did have some fights break out in the lines. I ain't gonna lie.
We would like to make a note Corey was not throwing cheese puffs.
No, we had tons.
Corey was definitely not throwing stuff at the homeless.
No, if I had cheese puffs, I was eating those. No, we had big old trays. We just scoop it up. The worst thing is like seeing people in very nice cars drive down. I'm like, come on.
Just came out there and got a free meal.
Exactly.
That's so fucked up.
And no, exactly. And that was what hurt the most. Because it's like, I can't stop them. I'm in high school.
They're not going to listen to me. I'm a kid.
Hey, man, don't steal this homeless man's food. What are you going to do? Nothing. I'm a child.
Nothing.
But,
Yeah, they made it rain pennies and dimes on those people.
That also feels a bit, bad.
Look.
Like, I'm throwing these pennies at people. That
What
feels
did-
like a painful way.
what did Dave Chappelle say? Instead of making it rain, he's making it hail.
Yeah.
You-
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
Just throwing quarters.
yeah,
Yep.
everything. Look, they were appreciative of those coins, whether or not they got battered with them.
Oh,
absolutely.
100%.
There were dollar bills in there, but the first thing he starts hucking is quarters.
Yeah.
I love how it's like all in like little like pails. Like, you know what I mean?
I'm standing there getting my food, and then somebody just throws a whole fucking pail of quarters on my ass.
I got a bunch of
Light that
quarters
thing
in my
up.
soup.
Jesus.
But yeah, so yeah, then they go to meet Madam Queen.
No,
And-
it goes to the first mob sit down. with Lucky
Oh.
and all the other mobsters and Dutch, because they're all Italian except for Dutch. Dutch Dutch is basically like a smaller version of their group, so he has to pay like a share to be a part of the group, paying his union fee.
Is this when Dutch is smacking them
On the
that
apple? Yes.
Exactly. He is eating this like a fucking asshole.
Bro, you should have brought an apple.
I got one in the kitchen. I can go grab it real fast.
No.
Just the... Every time someone was talking.
He was just being loud as hell.
Yeah.
I do like it when Lucky gets up and he's walking around the room and he's talking about, they're having these money problems. He goes over to Lulu, Edo Ross's character, and takes his hat off. He's like, "You're inside. You don't wear a hat inside." And he's trying to explain what they're doing. Like, Johnny worked some numbers and he made some like offshore accounts for them to use.
Yeah,
So that way they're like free from taxes. And Dutch is just chewing this fucking apple, and Lucky's like, "It's okay. I'll wait."
And what's funny is he's doing this because of Dutch. Well, not, mainly because, but Dutch is the only one that has a problem with the taxes.
Dutch is the one not helping the situation.
Just eating an apple.
He's just being so fucking obnoxious.
Yes.
The
terrible.
accounts are in Cuba,
Of course.
Was it? Oh, it was Cuba?
Havana, Cuba.
Gotcha.
So he's basically, Johnny is saying that, look,
Is this before the revolution?
I think so. I think that was like in the 50s.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Johnny is like, I started this account for Mr. Luciano, and he is
graciously
offered to let all of you use it to save you some money on taxes. I don't think he offered it to Dutch. Like when he goes around and he says all the people who are allowed to use it was all the other people that are around the table.
Oh, I thought he gave it to... Oh, my bad.
And it's because Dutch is being such a prick about all this is why he's kind of like leaving him out of it. And he's telling him, like, fix this problem you have in Harlem. Either just somehow get this straightened out. And if you don't, because you're causing us trouble, your fee just went up.
That's how everybody's getting that free... the guy with the Cuban account.
Oh, Johnny.
Yeah. That's why everybody...
tax-free account?
Yeah, that's why everybody can, because Dutch is flipping the bill. All of his monthly bills are going.
But also, it's again, he's still got that problem with Dewey. Mm-hmm. Dewey does not like Dutch, which is why.
To be fair, no one likes Dutch.
That's true, but it's another reason why Dutch's activities are getting Dewey's attention, and he needs him to stop because that's getting attention on them, and it's going to cost them more to get Dewey to leave it alone.
Right.
They probably should have just let Dutch go to prison and then
They could
take over.
I don't think they could because of how much he has on him. He'd flip in a heartbeat.
They say he has a lot of control.
Um,
That's why he's got so much money because he's worth like $3 million. We find out in
Yeah.
1930s money.
Yeah, and he was like, I don't understand how a man like that dresses in.
yes.
Because he even points out, like, when he first saw him, they had mustard on his
Yeah,
suit.
he had mustard on his
Yeah,
Yep.
they were like, he dresses like a vagrant.
Yeah, you got mustard on your suit. Yeah, I'm working it in for a friend. But I think they tell him that they now want some of the money from Harlem. And he tells them, like, look, a few months ago you said you didn't want it. Now I'm trying to get it. So there is money in this. And he's just not playing ball with the rest of the table.
He ain't going to be taken over. He ain't going to be treated like a lower person is what I see it as. He's like, nah, you can't tell me that this is shit money and that's why you have me here. But now that you realize it's more profitable than most others, nah, this is my gold mine.
Yeah, I think he blew them off.
Yeah, he tells him, he's like, fuck you, I don't want part of that deal.
It was on this meeting, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
That's when he was like, your fee just went up if you want to get back in.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Then we go to Queen chewing Bumpy a new asshole.
Oh, yeah, because they show up and the guy at the stairs is like, yo, you in trouble.
But then Bumpy really gives it back to her, too. She's like, no, dude, you're just scared.
He does.
I love the way he does it, though.
She's like, so you running things now? You trying to be the king?
He's like, I've never seen you afraid of a man.
Yep.
Never. And then she real quickly was like, shit,
It's like, you got me there.
I am
She
afraid.
she is pissed in this moment because he disregarded her orders.
Yeah.
That retaliation of stealing that truck, she did not want because she knew this was going to bring more heat down on them.
Well, what sucks is like there are times where those bosses can be bosses. Like, they've had their time, they've built, but sadly, the world changes. Mm-hmm. Society around, everything around changes, and you can't have that mindset. And she could not change for what was going on around. And Bumpy was like, we're going to have to do something.
It's very reminiscent, not to bring it back to The Godfather, but it is very reminiscent of Michael coming in and reorganizing the organization,
right.
The family.
Oh, like when he fired Tom?
Because everybody, oh man, you talk, man. But it has to happen.
Well, the problem, Queen's problem is, like Bumpy even says, she's scared. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And in that fear, she's not doing anything.
Right.
Like, she's just allowing this shit to continue. They're just getting bullied and bullied and bullied.
Until there's no more.
Right. Mm-hmm. And Bumpy's like, we need to make this stop. Mm-hmm. We're losing everything. Mm-hmm. So I did something about it. And she talked about she doesn't want more blood, but there's not really much way to avoid it.
And that's what makes me think, like, he just got corrupted with power.
They just knew they had to get rid of Dutch, huh?
Yeah. And he was like, let me figure out the best way to do that. Mm-hmm. And then I think he got reckless with his bloodshed when he got into power.
Oh yeah, that control, when you have complete control, mm-hmm. I can only imagine, because I ain't got it.
The one thing that Bumpy does in this movie that really makes me not like him, they get a character killed later on, a character that I actually kind of like.
And on Whispers.
No, Whispers luckily survives through the end of this film. But there's one character, when we'll get to it, that they didn't need to kill this guy.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I know where you're coming at.
Carry on.
But yeah, so this is Queen. He's telling Queen Bee off. Mm-hmm. Not in a bad way, but he's just showing that he's not going to back down for what he did. He's sorry she feels that way.
Yeah.
But it had to be done, and he's not going to apologize. Mm-hmm. Because he is a strong partner with her.
He believes he's doing what's best for her mm-hmm. against her wishes.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. He was like, you put me into this position because you saw potential in me, and I am taking that initiative because you are scared to do what needs to be done.
And don't be upset when I do what you can't. Mm-hmm. Or couldn't.
Yeah. And after this ass chewing, Dutch hires the Salk brothers.
Oh, the Hitman.
The Hitman.
Or the Pickaxe Man.
The
Pickaxe Man.
Yep, he hires them. Played by real-life brothers, Mike and Bo Starr.
Were they actual pickaxe men?
That's what I asked.
Because that is the wildest thing for me to think that they got hired for, is because they can make it look wild with a pickaxe.
But then, like, I thought it was like a 30s term, to be a pickaxe man, but they were really like hitman. But turns out, no, they actually were just walking around with pickaxes, and I was like, y'all just killing people with pickaxes? There's not a better way?
He did have a solid holster for that pickaxe. It looked like the leather revolver holders for anybody that holds holsters.
Well, they weren't running up on people in the street shooting at them. They broke into the house.
That's
quietly broke in and almost got them.
Exactly, and thank you. I'm so glad we're here now, because first of all, one guy is one of the bad guys from Dumb and Dumber.
That's Mike.
Tell me how he's coming around like a ninja.
He's skulking around this movie.
All these guys are at least, I would say, 280 plus.
They're big boys.
They're 280 plus. You're not sneaking. You're not, because they're fat. You know what I mean? They're not
they are stocky.
They are, yes, they are like what I strive to be. Dad bod to the core. Mm-hmm. I'm a pillow, not a rock. Mm-hmm.
They're quite large, but they are stealthy when they want to be.
And then he sings opera, or no, he was singing Silent Night.
Are we there yet?
That's in the actual assassination attempt.
Oh, I thought that followed right after they hired him.
Well, it's I want to say it's right around there, but this is the scene where they have that line about it's going to be about $3,000, and Dutch is like, "Fuck! I remember you get a guy taken out for $40.
$40.
And the one guy is like, "We live in inflationary times."
No shit.
Fucking right we do. And
Which is, I mean, it's a true thing. You can't expect somebody to go kill pretty much the main guy for your rival mafia for $40. Not in these times.
wait, hold on. What was $40 in 1934?
Right, because that's probably like half a year's salary.
Hey, $6
I'm
is
gonna-
groceries.
I'm a guess $40 back then to now is probably $5,000.
Was it right on the dot?
No,
Oh, what about?
Shit.
Okay, I'm going to go.
How far
with-
off?
you were high.
Oh, was $40 like $600?
35.
That was low. That was way too low.
3,500?
Oh,
No, I meant
3,500.
3,500.
Sorry. No, that's still too high. So
Is it even
$40 in 1934.
Wait, you want to let Jeremy guess?
Yeah, let
Jeremy? You want to take a crack at it?
I was gonna guess like around 1,000, 1,500.
It's too high. Not about $942.
Damn.
That's how much $40 would be.
Almost a grand.
Almost a grand.
Like right at a grand.
That's
Yeah.
somebody paycheck.
So they charged $3,000.
Yeah. So it would.
Damn.
In $3,000
Hold up. Yeah, keep going.
would
Going.
be about $70,500. That's how much they're charging to bump off Bumpy. No pun intended.
So 40 to 900
I had the same
something,
thought.
and then 3,000 to how much?
$70,000.
How does it climb that fast?
Wild. So they are literal pickaxe men. They like to kill people with a pickaxe. They have it on a little belt loop. Like
Talk about inflationary times. Sorry.
kind of like carpenter pants. Except for instead of a hammer, they got a pickaxe.
Oh no, that's pretty. Yeah, that's pretty factual.
This is also the scene where we meet Captain Foley.
Such a
Scumbag.
First of all, the most disrespect to anyone else.
This is the moment where I was like, oh, Dutch is racist to everybody.
I mean,
Because out the gate, he comes out with an Irish slur.
Oh, yeah.
Dutch doesn't care one bit. He was slurring on everyone that he could.
Yep.
Which is wild for a Jewish man.
He must have been somebody that got really hurt
Dutch was
by the
awful.
war,
Yeah.
and
Yeah, Dutch was terrible.
he was the guy that didn't have the morals of remorse.
Yeah, that's a good way to describe him.
He didn't care one bit about your feelings.
Nope. So they have a little meeting about a bunch of judges and lawyers and DA, and they're having to pay them all off and get them off Dutch's back.
As they're leaving, Foley comes up in the elevator and he's like, pulls out a gun.
Oh,
That's
my
That's
gosh.
who he was talking to Foley about, the judges and
Oh,
everything.
okay.
I
Yeah,
thought
yeah.
he was going to be funny at that scene. I was like, oh, this is actually a
Oh, 'cause
pretty
he
decent
pops up in the elevator.
person.
You're all under
Yeah.
arrest.
He's like,
And they start laughing.
and then he's just racist.
The-
And he's
Especially
just-
toward he really doesn't like Bub.
he doesn't like black people.
Well, but one thing that, because Bub comes up, he's like, have you attacked anybody?
You beat any black people lately?
And he's like this, have you?
He goes,
And I'm like this.
No, he says, I'm sorry to say I haven't.
But have
Have
you?
you?
Because he knows what everything's been going on.
That's
And
how we meet Bub.
I was like, they are going tooth to tooth right now.
Yeah.
That was a good comeback.
But we go to the
Only because he hadn't been beating anybody up.
that's true. Bumpy takes Francine to that little house party, and this is where we meet Tyrone for the first time before he gets a name.
Tyrone.
Because he asked if he could be a runner.
Yeah, he
and
sure
goes, "Look, we're
did.
not hiring runners right now, son.
And I felt so bad for this scene because all he wanted to do was have some time with Francine.
Yeah, because he
And-
walks in, they make him a plate. That plate looks delicious.
Although, like,
Did it not?
when they walk into this
So much fixing.
this party, and also when they're in that club, that first club, it reminds me of that old black painting of people dancing.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm talking about?
The one that they show in the I want to say the intro to Good Times.
Maybe.
That was a good. Hey, I love the good times.
I think that's the pain.
Painting.
But that, like, every time they they showed it, I was like, I'm getting strong imageries of this.
Yeah, because there's a big fat guy singing by the piano. But all these people start surrounding Bumpy, and they're talking about all the work he did,
To help
robbing
the
someone
community.
and killing people. And Francine is like, the fuck is this? We're supposed to be here having a good time.
Show it her.
Yeah,
That's
that
the one.
one.
That's the one Erica showed me.
That
the other
is
day.
the one from Good Times.
Yep, that
Yep.
I knew exactly what you were talking about when you said it. That one painting.
That's a
like,
great
I know what
painting,
you're talking
though.
about.
Yeah. Well, every grandma had that.
Hey, I want this painting. It's a great
Yeah.
painting.
Do you
First
have
of all,
do you have the name of it, Corey?
it is called. Look at that. Look at that. I could actually. So, artist is Ernie Barnes, a former NFL player and professional artist.
Who is he? Terry Crews?
Terry loves love. So, all these people saying all this, they're praising Bumpy, but they're saying all this awful shit he's been doing. And Francine kind of like dips out of this party.
Although Bumpy's or the jazz singer's like, hey, I need a job.
And he tells him go down to the club, see Calvin, and he does all the hiring.
He's like, I'll take you. He's like, you'll take care of me. He's like, I'll take care of you.
And that's what's up because he had finally won over Francine with the poetry and showing he actually had a heart. And then everybody's going to grab him and start talking about the 3 people he killed. And then she's like, oh, it's almost like that the blinders got taken off for a second. She's like, oh, wait, he still is this bad guy. He's killing people. So she leaves and he's like, no. First of all, I would have finished that plate.
It's like,
food
that
looks so
plate
good.
is coming with me.
Right when you said it, I was like, that plate was a plate.
It's like, we going to take this and eat it as we walk in.
Listen,
But they're-
I might be doing these bad things, but
Yo.
Ooh, is that turkey neck? Oh. But she's walking around looking like a school teacher. She's got that little dress on with that white sweater over her shoulders.
she seems so like preppy for like what
It's a
all
very
is going on around
it's a very
her.
college girl look.
Because it's like everybody's in the depression. You walking around like you aren't even touched by it. That's what I felt like.
It's like the government only paying so well.
Exactly. And she over here like this. I love all my fine stuff.
So she's talking about all this awful stuff he's done, and he goes, "Is there nothing that you wouldn't fight or kill for, or kill or die for?" And he kind of wins her over. But she's
Gives
really
her that long hug.
yeah, she's really second guessing this whole
Relationship.
situation. Yeah,
Well, when that scene happened, I was like, did he just tell her he loved her? Like, without saying it, and that's what that scene was for? Because he's like, he looked her deeply in the soul, and he's like, is there not someone you would kill or die for? And she looked at him, and I thought they were about to kiss, and then they hugged for however long. He took his hat off. I didn't know what was going to happen. He put it right back on. It panned out.
I win. Put the hat back on.
It's okay. He got what he wanted very soon.
That same night.
Well, I mean, it shows them laying in his bed in his gigantic apartment.
Gigantic. Was that the apartment or was that in the same area as the Queen? I couldn't tell. I couldn't tell.
I'm not really sure about.
But also all the silk pajamas.
Oh,
I tell you what, the money must have been rolling once he got
cozy.
Yeah, he had silk pajamas. And this is what everybody was talking about earlier, where they have that conversation about his faith, where he doesn't go into God's house and he doesn't come into his.
Right.
It's a tacky pattern though.
Yeah.
With the zebra print polos on that was a red sheets. The red sheets?
They're
No.
brown. His pajamas are red.
Not great. Not a great look.
His pajamas reminded me of like Santa Claus pajamas.
It's 1930s fashion.
Yeah.
It looked like the Casamigos of JoJo.
You wouldn't understand with your modern taste. You wouldn't understand these
Oh
things.
no.
But this is where the Salk brothers show up
I do want those
to
Salk
take care of
pajamas.
Bumpy, and they're kind of like a comic relief in this moment where they are menacing, but the whole time they're like
Bantering with each other
Yes.
about what they have.
who makes a better martini? And
Yes.
one will say this place, another one will say this place.
Steak, every item they can think of, and then there was one when they got on the elevator.
Hot
Bet,
dogs.
who's got the better Frankenfurter? And they simultaneously both say Nathan's.
Nathan's.
Mm-hmm.
I eat Nathan's hot dogs my damn self.
Nathan's are delicious.
First of all, the fact that they had a silencer threw me off real fast.
But I also they walked in, shoot them.
Oh yeah, there's a guard by the elevator. They shoot him immediately, and
Silence.
but when they get up to and get off the elevator, one got off and took the stairs.
The guy from
Mike Starr, the guy from Dumb and Dumber.
Yes,
he's the one that
on-
gets off the elevator and is a distraction, seeing the Silent Night. It's funny. He gets off the elevator, and the other bodyguard's like, "The fuck are you doing here?"
Which-
and he just does that little wave with his hand.
He starts singing Silent Night.
Just-
But where did the other guy get off?
My theory was he got off on a floor below,
Nah,
and he took the stairs up, and he snuck up behind the other guy, and he kills him with an ice pick.
because they are. I mean,
They're big.
when they said trained professionals, I was like, okay, they're going to somehow screw up.
But
no, they were.
But they did screw up because Bumpy knows they're coming, because when they get into his bedroom, he has stuffed a pillow under the blanket to look like they're sleeping in the bed.
Which I was like, they never showed how he might have thought they were coming, unless
He probably heard them.
You probably heard the Silent Night shit in the hallway.
Because the guy,
That's a
the
fair
guy
statement.
is like not whisper talking. Like when he's like, "Hey, what you doing here? Why are you here?"
Yeah, and
it's
then
just no gunshots went off. It shocked me for a second.
Maybe he heard the elevator.
could have.
Or maybe he was just up for some fucking reason.
Looked at the window, saw them coming.
Something. I was just like, what the fuck's going on in the hallway? And
He
that's
just
when the
got
Silent
done
Night shit
making-
happened. It's just like, we
Yeah.
need to move.
But it was where we have our little brawl in the bathroom. Bumpy shoots one brother in the stomach.
Oh, shotgun.
No, it's the revolver that
oh, it's
Illinois
just-
gave him.
Okay.
But it gets knocked out of his hand. So he's brawling with the one brother, and Vanessa Williams, Francine, is fighting with the guy that Bumpy already shot once.
I will give Francine this. She didn't sit back and let Bumpy handle it. She was like, "I'm gonna go in and help in this moment."
Because
I'm being
and
proactive.
yes, unlike Kay, who I feel like would have been cowering in the corner.
it's all because he had just talked about, and this is why I thought that was like their way of him showing that he was telling her he loved her, because then she automatically was like, I need to protect him. So she handled her business.
I mean, the one guy that's going after her is the one that Bumpy already shot. So in the middle of that, he dies. And the other brother, Mike Starr, is about to get Bumpy, and she shoots him in the back, like twice. So she's got blood on her hands now.
She's in it.
Yeah. Now, I will say it was self-defense.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Yeah, she can definitely. Well, probably not in 1930. She probably couldn't beat that case. But
No,
if
not
it
with
was-
that cop.
Yeah, if it's now, she probably could beat it.
Right.
Oh yeah, but no, not back then with all that.
No.
Pieces of shit.
Absolutely. ACAP. We finally get another scene with Illinois and Mary. Illinois goes to visit her at her shop, which is Pigfoot Mary's. And he's basically collecting her bets. And he's also, pitching some woo. He's thirsty for this woman. And she's flirty with him here a little bit. And as he's leaving, though, Foley and his boys
Piece of trash.
jump him and they steal his bag where
'Cause
he
he
keeps all of
paid.
his slips and the money. He also tells her that, oh, no, your money's no good here. Don't worry, I got it.
Yeah.
60 cents, and he's like, "Don't you worry, I got it."
Uh-huh.
And I'm like, "This that man tried so hard right now."
Yes.
Mary wants him.
She did. She had to stay true.
She's got
And
to make him regret what he did at the beginning.
She had to show she ain't no pushover, which you know she ain't no pushover.
No, Mary's not putting up with that shit.
Not no pig feet Mary.
Mary will make you wait.
Bigfoot Mary.
She in the flirting though, she also says something like, "Boy, I crush your spine," and he goes, "Oh yeah, that's what I like."
You talking my language now.
Yeah.
And I was like this. Oh, he in.
Uh huh.
He in with that.
Yep. But so after they steal the gambling slips,
Uh-huh.
Mary comes out, and she's like, "You can't be doing that." And Foley's like, "Would you rather it be you?"
Oh man, I know.
He's such a shithead.
Mm-hmm.
And this is December of 34 when this is going down. Right after that, we have a little Christmas party at the club, and they're all talking about how they're worried about Illinois. They're worried about what's going to happen with those two guys came and tried to kill Bumpy and Francine. And Foley shows up at the Christmas party, and he arrests Madame Queen for illegal gambling because they have all those slips now, which is now evidence against her.
And Bumpy stands right in front of him. He said, "Be careful what you're doing." And that's the one thing, like Lawrence Fishburne and Bumpy, like he stands on it because like he 100% in all of the scenes where he had to be the character Bumpy, like he just stood up stern and did not waver. And I was like, oh man.
Oh, we also learned Queen's real name here is Stephanie St. Clair.
I don't think I heard it.
Because when Foley arrests her, he addresses her by her real name.
Oh.
That she's under arrest for illegal gambling. This is where she leaves Bumpy in charge of everything.
Mm-hmm.
Bumpy's finally in power.
And this is where, because then they go to the warehouse or the main area, and they're talking about their game plan.
Oh, yeah, it's like they're in a pool hall.
Yeah.
Like they're in a pool room.
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And poor Tyrone comes up with his brilliant and murderous idea.
So we're gonna have these greenbacks.
Because he tried to ask for a job as a runner at the party, and he got shut down.
But they made him. It looks like they made him like the busboy almost, because he's pushing a broom or something around. Mm-hmm. He has a good idea though.
Oh no, he has a great idea.
So basically, his whole thing is like, look, everyone bets money on the white slips, so they don't know whose slip it is. Dutch uses white slips. We use white slips. We should differentiate them with a different color paper.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm. And at first, everyone's like, "Oh, that's stupid," but Bumpy tells him, "No, that's a good idea."
And then they were also like, and then we burn them after their use.
Yeah. So we collect them. We get the bets. We collect them. We find out what the winning number is. Get the payout. At the end of the day, we burn our slips. They're gone.
Mm-hmm.
I don't understand how they're doing it before, but yeah, it sounds like a great.
Great being reckless.
Oh, they also say they have to change their runners' routes
Because they're all...
Because now they're being attacked, like just how Illinois got beat up.
Just like how they stole that money as their first line of attack. Everybody
from
knows.
Dutch.
Yeah,
Yeah.
everybody knows everybody's routes.
Yep.
You've
So
been doing it for years.
Along with changing their routes, they're also changing the location where they hide the slips.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
That way they can't find them, because they lose the slips. They lose any track of their betting.
Right.
And Bumpy's like, that's a great idea, son. What's your name? And-
Tyrone, sir.
As if he had never seen them before.
Right?
Like, you just
You
saw him.
hired him.
He might
But-
not have known his name.
That's true. He didn't say his name when he first met him.
He
But
was
I do
too
like...
focused on Francine on that night.
Right. But this is the part where he tells them, like, look, Queen's put me in charge. She wants no bloodshed. We're not killing. We're not going to war. We're just changing our strategy. I think he tells Valley, bump up security for the building. This place is safe. If anyone needs protection, this is where they need to come.
He also puts security on Francine.
Yes. God, he tells Calvin to do something, but I can't remember what it is.
And Whispers also gets the job, I think.
I think Whispers is the one he tells to protect Francine.
Yes. Yeah. Whispers was on Francine. And that I was questionable, but I was like, come on, man, not Whispers. He that make it, see?
Every time I see Whispers with the gun, I'm like, this is the one person in this movie that don't need to be loaded.
I got it, boss. I got him.
I love that man.
He's such a good one. He's such a good one. But yeah, then this is where the montage starts. Mm-hmm. Where I thought it went through years, but it was only like 6 months.
It's the world's longest unnecessary montage.
Montage, like...
I feel like they could not figure out a good scene to put from there to Tyrone's funeral. Like they really just could not figure out. Like we need to come up with a scene that gets us from this point where he lets Tyrone start running to okay, he's at his funeral now.
It was so funny because as soon as they said his name, Erica turned to me and said, "Oh, he's about to die."
I was like, he's not long for this movie.
Oh, I could tell immediately. He got brought back in after being dismissed. I was like,
And he was just a baby too. He was like, "They told me you started running when you were 16. Well,
I'm
I'm 17." He does have that great line. I like Bumpy tells him, "Don't you turn frog on me, boy," which I think just means don't be green, don't be scared.
Don't jump away.
Yeah,
Or don't be dumb and get killed.
Yeah,
Which-
don't croak.
don't croak.
Oh, there
He
you
does
go.
all that.
He does all of that.
But Whisper tells him. Whisper's like, "It's your time now, Bumpy."
Yeah, when he leaves.
Yeah.
Yeah, he does.
It's your time. It's your time now.
I wish I could find like something as a ringtone or something with Whisper's voice. It's your phone, answer it. You got a message.
Your mama's calling you.
Tell me a joke.
Yeah, I think you're right. It is the montage.
It is, yeah.
It's a lot of Dutch and his people shooting them up.
Yep.
But it's funny because they include a shot of when they first stole that money. When Illinois and Bumpy
Yeah,
were-
when they
were in
hit
that
him
drop
in the
spot.
Mhm.
Yeah, it shows that stuff, which doesn't need to be in this montage.
Which had already happened.
Yeah.
Or was that to be like they stole money again, conveniently in the same outfits?
With
No,
the guy.
I think
they even
showed some bad
They
editing.
even showed his face with
It
the
was the
revolver.
exact. It was the same guy. It was the same outfit, same store. But in this montage of all this illegal gambling shenanigans, we get like 2 or 3 shots of Bumpy putting on pearls around Francine.
Oh, this is like where it shows her really like,
He's spoiling her.
yeah.
He's like, look what all this money gives us.
What if that montage wasn't originally in that spot?
No.
Then, like when they when they decided where scenes were gonna go,
Uh-huh.
they ended up putting that montage later than it was originally supposed to be.
Like on
And that's
accident.
that's the reason it has like scenes that are just like, okay, this is a flashback now.
Okay.
What if that montage is supposed to be in another place?
See, I didn't get that because 90% of the montage is like newspaper clippings and saying that people are boycotting Dutch and that there's a lot of bloodshed.
Dutch
And
is banned from Harlem.
Yeah, and it's all this stuff like Dutch like beating people up and everything, which is stuff we hadn't seen before. I think the real only repeated thing in the montage is when it's Bumpy in Illinois robbing that drop spot. So I think it was just a bit of bad editing. They should have just cut that one little clip out. Everything else works.
I mean, I feel like it's also possible that it could have gone in that, like that might have been supposed to be in the spot where they Bumpy in Illinois did what they did, and then maybe all that stuff happens, and then Madam Queen is just like, okay, y'all have been going behind my back, fucking stuff up.
Maybe.
Like
I mean,
it's
yeah.
possible that could have gone there, and then she confronts him because only one thing happened, and she, confronted him. And honestly, was it really that bad? Like, was it that bad of a thing that they did that she had to go at them like that?
Right? They're Robin Hood.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
it's possible that they should have done more stuff and caused more chaos, and then she comes at them like, okay, look at what y'all did. Y'all caused all this chaos.
Okay, from that point of view, I get what you're
Yeah.
I totally get what you're saying.
It might have been supposed to have been there,
Maybe.
and then yeah.
Somebody messed up.
But maybe the Tyrone death thing, they were like, well, what if we put it later, and then the end of the montage,
Yeah.
Tyrone
Yeah.
dies,
Yeah,
and then he gets to the funeral and it fits.
Because if
better
you
there.
put it sooner,
Yeah, because it also shows in the montage, we start getting like dates flashing on the screen. May 35, June 35, July 35.
I know I didn't even look at the months.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and
I
then-
kept looking at months and thinking years. I was like, this is a long time.
Yeah,
But it's got that shot of Bumpy walking down the street with a car behind him and whispers hanging off the side of the car. And this is where we get the very unceremonious death of Tyrone.
Dude, when he was first of all, like, yeah, when he was walking down the street, I'm like, are we like? I 100%. I was like, so they're in control now. Like they have really stumped out Dutch, and then Tyrone gets shot. I'm like, come on.
But it's like it shows Tyrone come around a corner, like he's being chased. 'Cause he's like looking behind him behind the corner, and he turns back and he starts walking, and then someone just walks up to him and shoots him dead in the street, and the green slips go flying in the air. And I think the next thing we cut to is his funeral, and the Bumpy is paying off the Undertaker.
God, he's such a creep.
He's creepy because he even tells his son, he goes, "Thank you, Mr. Johnson, son. He's brought prosperity back to the neighborhood." It's like, yeah, because all these people are fucking dying. You're making money off of
he's
it.
making bank.
Oh, that
killing
man.
it.
Oh yeah.
He's just like, thank you, Mr. Johnson. I'm paid because of you.
And that's where Tyrone's mother spits on him because he says, "Your son died
Also.
a hero,
Also the
a
worst.
hero,
No, he
Honorably.
Died. He
honorably,
Yeah, he died with
honorably."
honors.
Yeah,
Also
and
the worst spit I've ever heard.
But
didn't even spit. She went to
She was also trying so hard to cry in this scene.
And couldn't.
Not one tear could slip. I was like, at least spray her face to make it look like she was crying.
I'm not gonna lie though. There were some times with oh my god,
With what, Corey?
Bumpy with
Bubba
Bumpy
dubba dubba dubba.
with Bumpy with Lawrence Fishburne. There were some scenes just like you said. You could see him already starting to cry before the time, so he could be prepared. I was like this. What is going on with these actors? But yeah, she tried so hard. She's like,
She was like, I was like, Mia,
My
but just cry.
'Cause she mentioned something about she scrubbed floors for like 17 years.
yeah, to make sure he like got through. and
Yeah,
stuff like
and
that.
he was like the only good thing in her life. Mm-hmm. And
it was
Bumpy
quite
took her,
tragic.
Yeah, I mean it's sad, and Bumpy took that from her. But it was just the way they killed him was even worse. We literally meet him. He comes up with a good idea. Boom, he's dead. Mm-hmm. Not 5 minutes later, this character's killed.
17 years young.
And
although it's very reminiscent for the times where you get a hopeful youth who's going to make it and change the world, and then they literally die like 2 seconds later.
Oh, I finally found my break.
Yeah,
that's our Tyrone.
All he was missing was a basketball and a trophy.
Oh no. We fast forward 2 weeks later, and there's it's Bumpy and all of his people with Francine. They're in an ice cream parlor, and there's something about a capsized boat with like 235 people on board, and they're worried everyone's going to play that number
because Dutch changed his to 236.
Yep, and they're like, if this pays out, we're going to have to pay out like $80,000, and they're saying we should change our number, and Bumpy's like, no, those people played those numbers. If it hits, they're gonna get their money. And Francine basically tells him this is what makes you different from Dutch. You're actually trying to take care of people. Did you do the inflation for $80,000?
No.
1.88 billion.
God damn.
Hey, Madam Queen was good for it.
Damn. Yeah. So they
roughly.
They're like talking sweet to each other, Francine and Bumpy, and she says that comment about he's not like Dutch, and that's why she loves him. And Illinois is like, man, I need a woman like that. I need to find Miss Right. He's like, who am I kidding? I'm not looking for Miss Right. I'm looking for Miss Right now. Mm-hmm. Francine thinks that's funny.
She's like, oh, that's so funny.
Oh, Illinois. You got Pigfoot Mary.
Oh, she still ain't giving it to you.
And then tragically.
And then his banana split comes out.
Pigfoot goes and gets got, right?
Well, yeah. Spoiler for a little bit later on. But
I thought that was right about now.
No, that's after they drop off the bomb.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Pigfoot Mary does eventually get murdered, sadly.
I'm sorry. You can cut that out.
We're going to get there eventually anyway.
Okay.
Where are we?
They're at the diner with the split. Your favorite scene?
Split scene. Yeah, the one that caused me to watch the movie.
Yeah.
First of all, the kid that dropped it off looks suspicious from the beginning.
Oh, yeah, because it shows him drop it off, and the camera cuts back up to him as he looks away.
And he's like, oh.
But do we know where we know Jimmy from?
Oh.
Temptations.
Yes!
I was about it.
I noticed him immediately. I was like, wait a minute. Oh, yeah. I saw him, and I was just like, oh, he's from the Temptations.
But also, if you watch this scene, when Jimmy sets the sundae down, the split,
Yes,
and he goes to walk away, Valley is right behind him. He's also watching that split.
I never looked at Valley.
And they're about to eat it, and Bumpy has that thing of, Mr. Redmond, did you make my split? Or he goes, do you know I don't like almonds on my split?
Oh, yes.
Oh, yes, Mr. Johnson. I know you don't like almonds on your split. Why are there almonds on my split, Mr. Redmond? Did you make my split, Mr. Redmond?
No, the new kid did.
Oh, Jimmy made it. Jimmy, do you not know I don't like almonds on my split?
Jimmy over there acting dumb as shit, too. But Jimmy, I'm sorry, I didn't even know.
Jimmy should have dropped that split off and gone to break.
He should have took the trash out or something. Get the hell out of Dodge, right there.
Get the fuck out of there. But it's kind of awkward because it's like, is he really going to make a big deal about a simple mistake of there being almonds on his split?
That's what makes you think he's really gotten corrupted and he's that mean or that vain.
Getting power hungry.
Because Francine was like, don't make this a big deal. He's like, no. Because he acts just like any gangster. Anybody in control. He's like, no, it's fine. I ain't going to do nothing. But
it's funny because he tells Jimmy, go get some hot fudge. I'm gonna show you how to make a proper banana split. But do you guys recognize the guy who played Mr. Redmond, the little old man who owned the ice cream shop?
That kept putting his hands on his face.
Yeah, he was like, oh!
Yeah, like Macaulay Culkin from Home Alone.
Yeah.
He's just like this. I would never,
sir, don't hurt him.
No, I didn't recognize him.
He is the patrol officer from Clue. The cop that shows up to the house.
He's so old.
He gets hit in the back of the head with a lead pipe.
Is he the one that answers the door for the singing telegram?
No.
Oh.
No. I think the telegram shows up after. They all get killed at the same time.
Okay.
Trying to find the actor's name.
Bill Henderson.
Bill Henderson. Yep. He was the patrol officer from Clue.
Nice.
He died in 2016.
That sucks.
R.I.P. He had to be old.
90.
Yeah.
Good for him.
Oh, actually, yes, 90 and almost a month old.
Oh.
Damn. But Bumpy is basically telling Jimmy, like, I don't like almonds on my split or rat poison.
Ah!
You don't think I don't smell this shit?
I smell that cinnamon.
Oh, yeah, apparently rat poison smells like cinnamon. I've heard from other movies
I'll
they've
take your
compared
word
it to.
for it, yeah.
I need to try it and taste to see.
Well, just smell it.
Give us
Just
that
don't taste
review.
rat poison. Just smell
Wait,
it.
didn't he?
No, that's
didn't
fair.
he ask him to taste it? He was like, "Nah, I don't like."
Ice cream?
Yeah, I don't like. I'm
I'm
allergic to ice cream. And then he started slapping the hell out of him. And
Oh,
then-
you're
Yeah,
right.
he was like,
There.
"Ah."
That's when he says, "Are you allergic to rat poison or
Yeah.
some shit?" And he's like, "Who told you to put this on my split?" And Valley pulls out a knife, and he's like, "Let me do him, boss."
Let me do him, Bumpy.
And he's like, "No, hold on, calm down, Valley." And
Oh, no. He waited till they asked Mr. Redmond, or no,
no.
not Mr. Redmond. Somebody said Valley's name, and that's when he flipped the knife out.
No. At first, this is just when Bumpy is trying to get Jimmy to talk,
Yeah.
and Valley is real quick to be like, "Let me kill him." Then he asked Mr. Redmond, who hired.
That's when he turned
when did
around.
Jimmy hire?
I'm gonna kill you, bitch.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because he goes, he told me you wanted him to work here. He goes, who told you I wanted him to work here? And he's
Valley.
looking at Valley before he says it. Then and then Valley goes to kill him, and they drag Valley out of there,
Yeah.
and they make Jimmy sit back down, and he tells Jimmy, eat.
Nah, come on. I like how he's like. You can see he's trying to be nervous. He's got the card and
Oh,
everything.
he's shaking like hell.
And not Willie, but the other young guy,
Oh, I don't know his name. This character.
the one that was really mad when everything happened with
Yeah,
Queen and
yep.
wanted retaliation. He just snatches the card out, slams it down. He's like, "You gonna sit still?" I'm like, this.
He said, eat.
He said, "Fucking eat."
He also has Whispers take Francine home.
Yeah.
I mean, he keeps putting whispers with Francine. I'm like, bro, you gotta get some more power.
I mean, Whispers, you can trust.
Yep.
Not with the gun, but
I trust Whispers. I
Listen,
would trust Whispers.
Whispers
absolutely.
was the best ride or die besides Illinois, in my opinion.
They don't. I assume they killed Jimmy.
Yeah.
yeah.
I wasn't.
Or the
expecting
rat
him.
poison got him.
Rat poison
Right.
killed
He
him.
actually did eat it. He
Yeah.
ate it.
He ate a spoon of it.
He ate rat poison.
I would 100% make him eat the whole thing.
He probably did because they cut from that scene after that, and you don't.
Yeah, it cuts to the pool hall where they're interrogating Valley.
And I'm like, damn, not Paul.
And,
It's like, again, Paul.
Like, damn.
oh, and that's actually where we get that slow motion shot outside the pool hall, and it's so unnecessary. It's a car pulling up, and there's a lady walking by, a woman that has nothing to do with the movie,
At
but it's
all.
in slow motion for some reason. And this is where they're inside, and they're
Oh, yeah.
interrogating Valley, and he's just crying, like, "Bumpy, please!" And Bumpy's just like, "Hey, man, be cool."
I was misunderstood.
He's like, "Look, here's a cup of tea. It's all fine." That's a nice ring, Valley. He's like, "Who paid you to do this?" And he says Dutch gave him $3,000 to do it.
Because he was like low on payments, or he took out a loan or something like that. I forgot how they described it.
I forget, but he says, "You know how much $3,000 is?"
Although $70,000 is a lot of pretty good money.
He paid that man a
Excuse
lot
me.
of money.
I can't front him on that one. Like,
I'm gonna be honest. You can't pay me $70,000 to kill somebody. I'm gonna need a good bit amount
A
more.
cool million. Look, this in depression times in the 30s, you would have took that.
No,
fucking
that's
3,000.
Yeah.
No, that is.
You're already a criminal.
Right.
Shit, I keep forgetting. Yeah, they
Yeah.
are already criminals.
Shooting people is second nature to you,
Or poisoning people with rat poison.
or stabbing them.
but he probably should have coached Jimmy Warren and be like, "Hey, when you poison, leave."
Go take out the trash.
Yeah.
Sprinkle that shit in the whipped cream. Dumbass.
But he says that Dutch gave him $3,000, Anyway, that's a nice ring you got there, Valley. Did you just buy that?
No, I had this was what was it? From his uncle or something like that.
A dollar store trinket or something.
Or
like
his
Yeah.
aunt. Somebody.
It's nothing. And then cool, calm as can be. Illinois is behind him. I've never seen you wear it before.
I ain't never seen that ring before. Man, come on, man.
Yep. Basically, Bumpy's like, "Oh, you're fine. You're fine. Hey, you're good. You're good.
Hey, you're
Don't
good.
worry about
Sit
it.
down.
Sit
You're
down. Here,
fine.
here, take this tea." And he hands him this teacup, and it's just
Chattering. I thought they were about to jump the mess out of him when he walked out, like just straight start, like
mollywopping him.
yeah. And then they all walked out and they just started traitor.
I like
snake.
Yeah, that's Calvin. Calvin's like snake.
And then the best character walks back in.
But
Whispers.
at this point, I really thought we were going to be chopping off balls.
No, that's fair, especially after the first one.
Right? I was like,
Not balls. Not balls.
Straight cutting neck.
Cutting fingers.
Yeah, he cut his finger off.
Because Whispers walks in and he
Oh,
goes.
that's right.
Whispers pulls a razor blade out of his pocket.
I thought he was going to cut his. He probably cut his throat because
accidentally.
I think whenever we were talking about, I think that's how Whispers got his throat cut.
I just like he goes, "How you doing, Valley?" And Valley, without not moving, this takes a while.
It takes a long
He
time.
brings that arm back and he slashes at him, and we presumably cuts Valley's throat.
You hear the body hit the floor before the slice is done.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
that sounded like that just sounded like Wayne Knight when he gets killed in Jurassic Park. That noise you just made. I think then we go to the Cotton Club.
Yeah.
Where Dutch is there with a lady, and I assume the guy who owns the Cotton Club.
Yep. Dutch is in there having a good time.
Good time. And he tells the lady he's sitting there with that if they don't put you in the like the main act or whatever, he's like he'll put his fucking head in a vice or some shit.
Mm.
And Bumpy and his guys show up, and the guy who owns the place is getting real bent out of shape about it because
There's
no black people allowed.
Exactly.
You're supposed to come in the back. Because I think this is also where we get Duke Ellington playing the show. I don't know the actor playing Duke Ellington.
Because he's like, oh, you must be the guys that hire the guy. You're just trying to collect the money or something like that. And he's like,
But I think he
no,
actually
partner.
did because he makes some comment about.
Oh, he did get them to play.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's like, oh yeah, we're gonna collect the money, or he's like, you can keep the money or some shit.
okay.
He does respond to that, but Dutch is shocked to see him alive, and he gives him Valley's finger with that ring on it because Dutch asked him like, where's my buddy Valley? He goes, oh he had to go.
Yeah, we went jumped states or something like that.
Yeah, but he says something about something about numbers, and you can use this to pick your next ones. And he throws the finger on the table.
The one girl, he's like, I'm gonna be sick. I was like, grow up.
It's just a severed finger.
It's just a finger. You know who you're dealing with.
Crooks.
But like literally when he like throws it on the thing and they open the handkerchief, I was like, oh, there's gonna be a ball sack in there again.
If there was, I would.
He's gonna do him one better.
You just see two nuts.
He's gonna do him one better and go a little higher and like, here you go.
The whole shebang.
And it's just like, oh god.
You gave Queen balls. Here's the dick and balls.
That's a power move, though.
Your move.
Depending on the
Got the
person
whole
you
package
kill.
for you.
Literally.
I brought you a little package and just drops it on the fucking table. Like, oh, I see what you did there.
Well played. I believe this is also where he tells him, like, look, I know where your numbers house is. I know where all your banks are. They're on these streets.
He
We're
states
shutting you down.
Everything. He's like, if they're not shut down by tomorrow,
We'll shut you down ourselves.
Yep. Because Dutch is got a nice little cocky attitude at first. But once Bumpy tells him that we know where all of your stashes are, his whole demeanor changes.
Pulls the gun.
And he also mentions that he knows where Francine is. He mentions her by name. I mean,
On their way out, right?
yes,
Yeah.
on their way out.
He calls her. What did he say? Didn't he say?
Hi, Yella.
Yeah, because I was like, look, Ada, there's that phrase I was telling you about.
was it?
High yellow.
Yeah, it's like, we
What
know
is
where your
that?
high yellow
It's
girl
just
is.
a light skinned lady or a light skinned individual.
Yeah.
Oh, high yellow.
High yellow
yellow.
is what they call some light skinned chicks.
Wow. Wow. I've never heard that one before.
Yeah, man.
So the next thing is where they finally are like, all right, he didn't shut down his business. We're shutting it down. And this is where they get the bomb.
Oh,
They put the bomb in the box of yeast.
This right here showed how the low, with the number 30 million, I wouldn't think low budget. You couldn't get the smart guy better fitting glasses. Those
Smart guy
things,
needs glasses.
like, first of all, you're going to give him glasses, I'm guessing, to make him look more, I don't know, educated, because everybody wants to put glasses on to feel
Smart
something.
characters need glasses.
Yeah, smart
Yeah.
character. Kinda
Nerds can't see.
But
Thank you.
they don't even go to the sides of his face. They don't.
He's got like little jeweler's glasses.
Yeah, they don't even fit both eyeballs.
Look, it was Depression era glasses. It was the best he could
He
get.
can't afford the entire eyeglass.
He's too smart to play the numbers. so
Dude,
he's
I was
broke.
like, those frames are stretching as far as they can to reach your ears.
Oh.
Like, I felt so bad.
There's not a lot of money in making bombs. Well, he couldn't afford glass. You know how expensive glasses are?
Yes.
You know
Yes,
how
I do.
expensive, you know how expensive bombs are?
Yeah,
Frames
you get to be
are.
smart.
No one can afford bombs.
Yeah.
God, the lenses are so expensive.
You get to be smart. You don't also get to see for free.
Yeah. Yeah. Facts.
They just so small glasses. They're just so small. I got the timer set for 7 minutes. First of all, 7 minutes?
Right?
You better drop that box off in GTFO.
Y'all
Where
better
do you-
hope you're not hitting traffic.
Because I'm like, first of all, we're
Well,
trying.
they didn't arm it till they got there.
Oh, okay.
But my thing is like, you're trying to get me to sneak into my enemy's domain while they know who I am.
Now, respect though for Bumpy volunteering to do it himself and not sending one of his.
Oh
people
no,
to do it.
100%.
Yeah.
He's like, no, I'm in charge. This is dangerous. I will do it. Now,
I'll-
if I die, you guys figure out who's in charge. But
Whispers.
their Whispers is actually telling him this is too risky. It's a bad idea. And he also says the Queen wouldn't like this. He goes, well, the Queen's not here. The Queen put me in charge.
And until she gets out, I'm in charge. Kind of
Right.
thing.
And they're like, hey, man, we're with you.
And they kind of respect that because it's like hey, when she gets out, I'm acknowledging that she is in charge, and I'll hand it back over.
But they take the bomb in. Etta actually brought something up when they were taking the bomb in. She was just like, so Bumpy went himself to deliver these bombs
And nobody
to
knew.
Dutch's
His beer warehouse.
his beer warehouse. And
That's how he makes a lot of his money.
Nobody knew what Bumpy looked like.
Exactly.
And I'm
Right?
just like, this ain't social media times. His Facebook profile pictures are just right there. They're like, yeah, y'all ain't never seen Bumpy? Let me pull up his Facebook. No, they just know
But-
there's some dude named Bumpy.
But they probably have maybe a drawing.
No, I don't think so.
Okay.
I mean,
I'm sure they had photos in the 30s.
I imagine the best you could hope for is a photograph in the newspaper.
Yeah.
There's also a lot of those. So how are you supposed to know which one's Bumpy Johnson?
Right. And like you just said a minute ago, no social media.
Yeah.
It's the 30s.
It's not like he showed up in a 3-piece.
Right. He showed up in
I did like that outfit. He showed.
some more
I want that outfit.
more regular street
Yeah,
clothes.
just street clothes.
Yeah.
Yeah, if he just showed up in a 3-piece, they're just like,
That's Bumpy Johnson.
are you Bumpy Johnson? Like,
And then fucking Illinois is putting on a voice for this whole scene. He's
Yeah.
like talking with a lisp.
The problem? Illinois is he's the problem that ruined this. 'Cause
Oh,
if
he
had just,
100%.
He was too nervous.
Yeah, if he just kept his mouth closed, Bumpy would have gotten the signature, and they could have
and they
left.
coulda left.
They didn't need to go together.
No.
Bumpy could have gone by himself.
Well, what
All
crack-
he was dropping off 6 small crates that are about the size of a shoebox. You didn't need both of you to go in there.
And what cracks me up is you've been doing this kind of shit the whole time. Why are you now afraid because you have a bomb that is set for a certain time? Like, bruh.
Well, to be fair, I don't
No.
want to ride around with a bomb in the car either.
No,
Yeah.
that's fair. It's just like, man, you really sweating it.
And they were going straight to a place where there were people that were armed that worked for Dutch. So
That are their enemy.
yeah,
This is also, I think, where he makes the line of when he came up from South Carolina.
Yeah, it was when
It
they
is,
were setting it all up.
They were going to get something, but I don't remember what it was.
he's like, what's wrong? He's like, I don't want to die, Bumpy.
He goes, you think I'm going to let you die? You think we went through everything we've been through and I'm going to let you die?
Oh, I said at that moment, I was like, that's a death flag.
Oh,
yeah.
100%.
As soon as he said, I don't want to
Yeah.
die, I was like, he's going to die.
The
And man, did they switch it up.
one of the closest characters to your main character and one of the first characters you meet in your movie, that's a death sentence.
This is the time for them to die. This is that canon moment for the main character.
He went out like a badass.
Foreshadowing.
Did he not, though? This is when, afterwards, they get spooked, and they were asking about the original delivery driver, and they're like, and Willie, or Illinois, was like, yeah, you know, he got drunk as a skunk, couldn't show up. He's like, he's a Mormon, he don't drink. Well, that's the other reason.
He got kicked out of church.
And they're like, you know what, you gonna stay here. I'm gonna go get the boss. And they book it, they start getting shot at, it explodes, and then this.
I feel like they saved the lives of like a good couple people with the number of people tracing them out into the streets. I was like, oh, all those people just survived this fire.
Yep.
That was a flammable ass building.
Yeah.
Too.
Yeah, I mean, how much TNT or dynamite, whatever, did they have?
They gave an amount when he was like, I said it for 7 minutes. There's enough TNT in here to blah, blah, blah. I don't remember exactly what he says, but it's obnoxious how much explosive is in there. They drop off the bomb, the place explodes.
And then pretty much after is when they go into
the police. The police are looking for Illinois. Mm-hmm. Illinois is sneaking around.
And they go.
No, it's not the police. It's
this
Dutch.
is where Dutch gets Pigfoot Mary.
Oh, that's right.
Dutch is at Mary's place, and they're scaring her with a gun. He pulls the gun on her, and Bub is like, "You don't got to do that, Dutch."
Yeah.
And he tells him he's like getting soft.
Mm-hmm.
And then Illinois is skulking around in the back alley, like you just said.
Mm-hmm.
I was thinking he was about to show up while they were in there, and then it was really going to be the moment.
I love this outfit he's wearing in this scene.
He looks like a conductor on a train.
I was going to say he looks like a big kid.
Yeah. It was the hat for me, man. It looked like a train conductor.
And he's got the brim of the hat turned up.
Yeah, it's turned up.
And he's wearing a jumpsuit. He looks like a big baby. It's great. It's great.
No, it does. It does.
That's a positive saying how youthful Shy McBride was in '97.
But this is also like I didn't think that she would actually be dead. Like I thought like maybe she was just
beat up or something.
It doesn't actually show Mary dying.
She's just dead. They leave when he shows up.
Yeah, he perfect timing. He walks in right after they walk out, and she's just laying on the floor, dead with her eyes open. Like we don't know exactly how she died, which isn't super important, but she sadly is dead.
And tell me how crazy it is later on in the movie when you hear that somebody doesn't show up for something. You know what I mean?
Oh no,
that's right.
You,
that's like
you
right
can
after.
say it. It's right here. Fucking
I mean, it's a little ways down.
Illinois chews Bumpy out later because he doesn't go to her funeral.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
he just sends flowers.
Yep,
he only sent flowers.
He finds her dead, and then I think the very next scene is when they're sitting there and Illinois is playing the piano really badly.
No, not yet, because Francine's got to leave.
Yeah, Francine leaves
no,
him.
The very next scene that we go to after Mary is murdered is Dewey chewing out Lucky again, which they haven't been in the movie for a while.
No.
And I thought it was funny because Dewey, William Atherton's character, doesn't interact with any other person in this movie except for Lucky, Andy Garcia.
That's what
he has no other scenes or interactions with anyone else. It's great.
Well, that's what had me feeling like I was like, is Lucky the Godfather, and all of these other guys are just like his illegitimate children that have sections of the city?
So Lucky Luciano, his organization eventually gets absorbed into Genovese. I think I'm saying that wrong. Crime family, and that is the family that actually did the heroin business with Frank Lucas from American Godfather. Sorry, American Godfather.
American Gangster.
American Gangster. Yes. So it's kind of cool how this shit's all kind of tied together lightly.
It is
based
wild.
off real history.
Mm-hmm.
This is the scene though where I'm like, oh, so he's not a lawyer.
Erica thought Lucky was a lawyer all the way up until halfway through the movie.
And I was like, oh, okay.
Did we miss the scene where he goes to see Madam Queen?
No, we haven't gotten there yet.
Okay.
So Lucky meets Dewey at a church, and Dewey's pissed because there's just more and more bodies piling up, and he's very quickly losing control of the situation. They're going to all be outed as crooks.
He knows that his days are numbered with the actual being on the legal side, and he's like, I can't. Well, and that's what always throws me off. I'm like, you want to act like you have all this evidence about me, you're going to turn me in. What evidence you think I don't have about you?
Right.
Dewey? You let all this slide for years.
And
I'm
it's kinda-
taking you with me.
It's kind of like he's like, look, Schultz didn't start all of this.
Right.
It's the people in Harlem. So I need you to get this shit under control. And Lucky's never really super
Invested in it.
well, not necessarily. That's not the word I was looking for. He never gets shook by anything. He's always calm and collected in every scene he's in.
I feel like Lucky could not be in this movie and nothing would change.
Until the ending.
Yeah.
Until the
ending. Yeah, I think he's only needed for the end.
Because that's what when the way you described it.
Mm-hmm.
He really doesn't do anything as what you think his role would be until like the ending.
I mean, he's only like a behind the scenes kind of character.
But it
Yeah.
makes you seem like he's head of the table, and it's like this, bro. You ain't doing nothing.
Right. Now, he is head of the table, but it does seem like he's not really doing anything.
Right, and I'm not going to say he's not. They just haven't portrayed it
Uh-huh.
until the end.
But
And
after
I love it.
after he meets Dewey in the church, this is where he finally sets up a meeting with Bumpy. And it looks like they're just outside some old factory.
Yeah, some kind of like old paper mill or something like that. They're just, it looks like the wall's been torn down. Like there's been a war out here. And he's like, I just love looking out here. And I'm like, looking at what? Destruction?
But he's basically inviting him to sit at the table, but that means Bumpy would have to work for him.
And you know what's funny? This is exactly what the queen would have never wanted. She never wanted to be with them. She wanted to be independent.
Yeah, she never wanted to work for a man.
No.
No.
That's what, and he stated that at the beginning. He's like, I've never seen you afraid of a man, especially that kind of man.
Mm-hmm.
And she was like, oh man, he's right.
He's like, fuck, he got me.
And now you're doing the same thing. Like he kind of it made you think he was playing into their hand.
Well, he tells them, he goes, look, as long as Dutch Schultz is in play, I can't sit at your table. I can't do business with you.
Oh yeah, that's fair. Yeah, I forgot that. Mm-hmm.
And Lucky basically tells him, like,
Don't worry about Dutch.
yeah, don't worry about Dutch, but I want you to come to the table. We're going to set it up. And he goes, my offer is no. He goes, no, that wasn't a request. We'll call you.
Mm-hmm.
And then Lucky has a meeting with Dutch about basically the same thing. He goes, look, your beef with Bumpy Johnson in Harlem needs to stop. He's coming to the table to sit down, and he's going to talk to us. And Dutch gets pissed off. Dutch has this great line when he gets out of the car, where he goes, I'm going to go to the library and read that book, or I'm going to check out that book you've been reading.
How to stab a friend in the back or something like
No,
that.
how to irritate your friends and fuck over people or some shit like that.
Oh, okay.
And again, Lucky just laughs it off. Lucky doesn't give a shit.
Because he's like, I don't give a fuck about you.
He's just in a great mood the whole movie.
Yeah. Lucky's like,
Man's high.
I can have all you killed, but I just don't want to.
It's like, that's too much work on my part.
I don't want to get my hands dirty yet.
Yeah. Yet being the key phrase.
Sorry, the book was How to Fuck People and Irritate Your Friends.
How to fuck people and irritate
Yeah.
your friends.
That's then Bumpy has the meeting with Queen in jail, and she says something about the parole board will let her out any time now.
Yeah, for like
And-
good behavior or
And
some
that's
stuff
the
like
only
that.
time that she's
Re-shown.
no, that's the only time. Well, yeah, but also that's the only time she's even remotely nice in this scene because she's tearing Bumpy up.
Left and right. Giving him a
Rightfully so.
new asshole.
She says basically, when I get out, you won't work for me anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Everything you've been doing has been against the wishes that I gave you.
Oh, she's like, oh, you the king now? Hail the queen, hail the king.
He tells her,
praise
he goes,
the
look,
king.
when you come out, you can come back, and we're going to run this shit together.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's not just going to be you anymore.
And that's what you got to know about that business. You can't let somebody step in and think they're going to step back down.
You
That-
can't give power and then take it away.
Yeah, it's impossible.
This also leans heavily into the historical inaccuracies that you were talking about at the beginning.
Ooh.
Because this shit didn't really even happen. She gave control of her business to Bumpy when she decided to go legitimate. She was just like, I have to go legit in order to avoid the
Survive,
police.
yeah.
So she gave the business to Bumpy, and she went.
She was
She
done
left.
with
Like
it.
she left it behind.
Oh, wow.
She took her money and
yeah.
left.
She became a legitimate businesswoman and left the crime scene
Hey, smart though.
This is also, I believe, after she got Dutch arrested. Like she got Dutch arrested.
Oh, so she was a part of it the whole time until Dutch was out.
Yeah.
Man, this is big
It's hella,
inadequacies.
like he said, it was way inaccurate.
Inaccuracies.
I was reading up on it, and I'm just like, oh yeah, they
botched
They
it.
definitely were just like, this is loosely based.
This is loosely based because we need to make men the key figures in the whole movie.
But she got Dutch arrested, and then once it came time where she was like, I got to get out of this. I think it's because Lucky and a lot of them were like coming down on her, and she was like, all right, I got to get out of this and become a legitimate business woman. I have made like a ton of money. Apparently she's making like $20K a year or something like that.
Oh my God, in 1930?
Yeah, in the back then times. And then
the back then
times she was making insane amounts. And she was like, all right, I have a lot of money.
You said 20,000?
I think she was making $20K a year, yeah.
470,000.
Goddamn. But yeah, so she was just like, I'm giving this business over to Bumpy because apparently that's what the fuck he wanted to do. And she was just like, I'm going to go be a legitimate businesswoman. And apparently lived out the rest of her life just wealthy and pretty much fine. Other than a marriage that did not go well. She shot her husband. Things weren't going well, so she shot his ass.
That's what I'm fucking talking about.
That's what's up.
Listen,
He lived,
You
though,
could.
but she shot him.
You could.
She had the aim of whispers.
She sent him a message.
Yeah, I think they were arguing, and she's like, I will shoot you.
You can take her out of the business, but you can't take that business out of her.
Actually shot him and got arrested for a little while, and then,
Wow.
I love that for her.
Yeah, the inaccuracies of this film are wild.
Oh, it's wild. Anyway,
No.
go ahead. Where were we? The scene, yeah. Long live the king.
He just got finished talking to Queen, and now we get the scene where he goes back home. Francine's sitting on the couch.
Yep. Oh my God. And so he walks in, and Francine's sitting there, knees on her, or hands on her knees, and she's like, "Bumpy, I'm leaving." No preamble. Nothing.
Yeah. Well, he was like, "Why aren't you dressed?" I told so we'd be ready in like 30 minutes.
We're going for supper.
He's like, "Now go get dressed," and she's like, "Well, yeah."
Yeah. She's like, "Bumpy, I'm leaving," and I was like, "Damn, girl!" Like,
No beating around the bush.
no hi, hello.
But I love the way she says it so deadpan. Bumpy, I'm leaving you. He's just like,
Hold on a couple ticks.
yeah, he says that a lot.
When he said that, I was like this. Oh my God, you don't care.
Yeah, and he goes upstairs, and I said when we were watching this, like, you have money when you have windows inside your house
Looking like Romeo and Juliet.
To
over
look
here.
into your house.
to look down into other rooms of your house. Because he's
Instead of like an open stairwell, you just have a wall with.
instead of a wall to this room he's in, it's got windows. Mm-hmm. And he just goes in, he starts grabbing pearls and scarves and shit and throwing them down at her. He goes, well, you taking all this shit. If you're going to go. Take all this shit.
And not to come away from what she's doing, because she did the smart and wise thing. She got out.
It
But,
was
like,
probably the best move to save her life.
Smartest move. I hated. He's like this. Father, take all this. I didn't need them. You sure took them very happily.
By the
Like
way,
you
yeah.
had no problem with the fact that he was killing and murdering.
the way he was throwing the clothes and the jewelry, I was getting some fucking Morpheus vibes. Cause he's like,
he went.
yeah.
Dude, I swear the hardest throw was the clothes.
But it's funny because he's like, you knew what I was when we got into this. Then he's just like, why are you doing this? And she's like, because you're not the man I fell in love with. You don't write me poetry anymore. You're not.
And then he got emotional.
But she leaves in a huff, and he tells one of his guys comes in, and the guy's like, what she rent, boss. And he goes, he's like, make sure she stays safe. And she has like one more scene in the movie, but she has no more lines of dialogue. And then Dutch has his second meeting with Foley, and Foley and Bub are just going back and forth
God,
with the slurs.
this is, oh my
yeah.
God.
Okay.
I give it to Bubby. Wait, Bubby?
Bub.
Bub.
B-U-B, Bub.
Just Bub. Because he stood on it a lot of times. Because he's like, listen, man, I'm only going to give you a couple more.
He's like, he got one more. And
And
when
he-
he says that one more, he's ready to go.
Yeah, he
And-
took that whole liquor bottle.
Yeah, and Dutch was like, fucking knock it off, both of you.
But to be fair, I mean, like, you gotta like nobody can just sit there and not understand why he did what he did. Like, he's letting people say it way too many.
Saying that shit way too casually.
Yes,
Yeah,
and it's just like, bruh, take the warning.
yeah. But this is basically where they come up with a plan of well, we know they're stashing their slips. We need to get those slips. Mm-hmm. Dutch wants Bub to go with Foley to do this little scheme they're cooking up. Bub is about to leave, and Dutch tells him to take the sandwiches that are on the table, like the scraps.
Yes. Oh.
And he's like, I don't need it, Dutch. I'm good. And he tells him, no, take it. Take the scraps home. And Bub very reluctantly scoops up this shit and takes it, and he thanks Dutch for it. And Dutch's like, ain't nothing.
He's just like, don't be too prideful.
Yeah.
Take it to your kids. And I'm just like, man, way to just be the shittiest person there is.
Yeah, he's just showing that he's got freaking power over him. That's all that shit is.
And this is what, like, you could see Foley looking at him. And, like, that's what, for me, it made me feel like maybe he was going to do something after, because he was like, this is too much.
Uncomfortable in the moment.
He was like, even for me, after I've said all of this, like, you're treating him.
Jeez, I'm calling him all kinds of slurs, but I'm not making him eat garbage.
Yeah.
And then, like, making him know it's garbage.
Right.
Like, that's just.
Then we go to a drunk Illinois mourning his Mary. And
trying to play piano.
Yeah, and then Bumpy goes off on him a little bit because they're like, he's playing chess with somebody, I think.
Whispers.
Oh, was it Whispers?
Yeah.
I thought Whispers over by the piano.
Well, Whisper moved over there whenever he got up.
Okay.
Somebody else was over there with him.
Okay,
trying to get him to stop.
And Illinois is pissed off because Bumpy didn't come to Mary's funeral.
How do you not? The man that you had oh, God almighty. You had to.
Like, this is one of your closest friends. Like, this is not just one of your.
This is your cousin.
Yeah.
The guy you openly said, you protected me when I came up from South Carolina. Mm-hmm. And now the woman of your dreams that you loved, Pigfoot.
The woman I love,
Pigfoot
Mary.
It died. You can't. You sent flowers. He's like, I pay my respects. He's like, don't you give me shit about paying respects. Those flowers don't mean a damn. And I'm like, facts. I'd piss on those flowers.
And he told him, he's like, look, you're drunk. Go home. And Illinois keeps going off on him. And this is where we finally get some actual arise out of Bumpy.
Oh, yeah.
He's like, I told you, take your ass home.
Take your drunk ass home. And I was like, that's Morpheus right there.
He also said, don't make me get up from over here and come put hands on you.
Yeah, he did too.
A man was upset. His girl just left him. So he's just like, look, yo, don't mess with me right now.
Look, you fucked up. Your girl left you. You also fucked up, got my girl killed.
Mm-hmm.
Mind you, your girl was married, though. Even though she was married. Yeah, she died and you lost her. But she was married. I'm pretty sure her husband was like, why is that dude crying so damn hard? At the funeral.
Who's that guy in the back crying?
My Pigfoot Mary.
Yeah, he's just like, not my Mary. He's like, what the fuck is that guy talking about?
Her
Don't Mary.
Yeah.
Her kids are there.
He's like, I haven't seen her in a couple months.
And I'm like, I know this guy is hurt, but that was a married woman you were running around with.
Oh, I keep forgetting she was married.
Yep.
Yeah, it's easy to forget, but I was like, I bet her husband was like, who is that guy crying hard as hell?
He was like, the nerve of these Negroes.
Yeah.
Can you keep it down? My wife is dead.
Yeah. He's like,
He's probably got his cheat woman beside him.
Yeah.
He's like, hey, I'm trying to console.
yeah. He's like, well, who is that guy over there that's crying super hard?
You know he was crying
Yeah.
too at that funeral.
Anytime they mentioned her name, he wailed. Wait.
My Mary.
It's like, bro, you're married. She was married to somebody else.
Yeah.
Well, what are you talking about?
Right.
But didn't Mary die before all these events in real
Oh yeah.
life?
The real Mary died in like 1929.
Before any of this happened.
So I don't know why they created Vanessa Williams' character. Francine's completely fictional. Mm-hmm. I don't know why they chose a real woman to be Illinois' love interest based off a real person who at this point has been dead for 6 years.
This movie is the most confusing.
It's wildly inaccurate.
Don't use it to teach history class. No. Shit's way off.
So they're probably using it to teach history class.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
No, y'all, there's too many black people in it.
Oh, that's fair.
Ooh.
That's fair.
It's a fair point.
They have to recast everyone.
Don't ever let that be known.
They would recast everyone as white people and all the black people would be Irish.
Oh.
In the 1930s. Need not apply. Mm. But also in this scene, Illinois tells Bumpy he's done. He's like, I'm not working for you anymore. Here's my gun. Also, I wish I had never given you that gun earlier in the movie. And he finally leaves. Oh, this is also where we get that great line from Whispers.
Oh,
Where he's like, tell me a joke. And he goes,
I know.
we are the joke, Whispers.
I thought he was going to make him crack up.
This is where Foley and Bub abduct Illinois.
This is, I thought when I saw him and he was like, you don't have to worry about me. I am through with all of this. And he's like, come on, Illinois. We both know. Once you're in, there ain't no getting out.
Yep.
And I'm like, he's gonna get him.
Yep.
Yeah, this part hurts.
I shed a tear.
Because they abduct him and they string him up and looks like
First of
Freddy
all,
Krueger's hideout.
I was about to say either Freddy Krueger or what are they in war? Because this man looks like he's a prisoner of war.
It almost looks like they have a dumpster fire there.
Yeah.
So they have Illinois strung up and they're trying to get him to tell them where the number slips are.
Mm-hmm.
And he's not giving it up. And Bub is like, look, he's not going to talk. Let him go. Just stop. And Foley said, oh, he'll talk. And he's got this corkscrew.
Oh.
He's like, I'm going to ram this up your nose so far your eyeballs are going to pop out. Now, you going to talk?
And he's like, he said, I mean it.
Yeah,
and
know
I'm
I'll do
like,
it.
this
I'll
man's
do it.
been doing this.
Yeah. And Illinois is like, and what? He gets a little closer to him. And then Illinois is like, my cousin go, fuck you up.
My cousin's gonna fuck you up so hard for doing this.
Yeah. And sadly, this is where Foley kills Illinois. And they string his body up, looks like down by the docks.
Yeah.
And they put a suitcase around his neck and it says, no more secrets.
Yeah.
But they even stuff some of the green racket slips in his mouth.
Mm-hmm.
And I think this is where they have another meeting.
With Lucky.
No, it's before that. It's before they find Illinois dead that Lucky and Bumpy have that meeting.
In the car?
No, they're at the actual. There's the sit down with all the mob bosses,
Oh.
and they're like, "Look, Mr. Johnson has this territory on the map. Mr. Schultz has this territory on the map, and we get this thing done peacefully." And Bumpy says, "Well, as I told you before, there's nothing that involves Mr. Schultz that I can agree with."
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I think he said if he starts coming into
Uptown?
Harlem, then that
Uptown.
means I have to go
Downtown.
Yeah.
Yes. And he tells him, like, look, there's nothing about this guy that I can trust. I can't work with him.
Mm-hmm.
And this is where Lou looks so stupid with his tiny little tie, right?
That's coming up,
Okay.
I think. Yeah, because Lulu always has these... He looks like the sidekick to fucking Popeye the Sailor Man. I don't know what else to describe him to. Yeah, so after that meeting, that's when they find Illinois dead. And that's when someone says they talked to the people around there. And they said they saw a cop stringing him up with captain's bars.
With captain's bars. And, oh, man, I was like, here we go.
Now, Foley's been a racist piece of shit this whole movie.
And
where do you find him?
He's getting his thing sucked by
A black lady.
By a black lady. And he's loving it. He's
Oh,
having
yeah.
the time of his fucking life.
Mhm.
And then the door just creaks open, and Bumpy's standing there. He pulls out that switchblade, and he slits Foley's throat.
But it didn't feel like I didn't feel like that
Was
was
justified.
enough.
No,
Yeah.
nowhere
It was
Yeah.
too fast. It was too fast.
Yeah.
For what Illinois was put through, I was like, that man should have balls chopped off, castration served, given to Dutch.
Good God.
Now, he should have come in there with a sock full of pennies. Beating the ever-loving shit out of him.
it went too fast. I was like, not enough.
Oh, exactly.
But yeah, so Foley's fucking finished. But on Bumpy's way out,
Walking down the hallway like a serial killer with the knife.
Yeah,
Oh,
looked like Michael Myers. But he runs into Bub, and he throws Bub against the wall and puts the knife to him. Like, did you touch my family? Did you hurt Illinois? He's like, no, I didn't do that shit. But he basically tells him, like...
He's like, you didn't do anything to prevent it.
Right. He goes, you're not better than me. What, you think because you're working for Queen, I'm working for Dutch, you're better than me? And Bumpy has that line of, how do you sleep at night? And Bub says, "How the fuck do you know I sleep?"
Yep.
Which
Fair.
is a good line, but it also there's a callback to it later on that I kind of like. And then I think this is where Bumpy and Bub have a sit down, and they start talking about. Bumpy mentions that when he went in, Bub was in charge, and when he got out, he was working for Dutch, and the conversation fades out, so we don't get to hear this, but they're plotting something. Because he mentions, when Bub walks in, Bub mentions that you said you had a proposal or something. And we're left out of the loop in this moment, which I kind of like a little bit for the most part. Because this movie's kind of like telegraphed the entire time. You know what's going on. I think Bumpy has another meeting with Lucky, and he tells him, "No, I'm gonna work with you, but I want your accountant Johnny to come over to a like a neutral location. It's like some apartment. I want him to look at our numbers, or look at our books, look at everything, and see what he thinks." Lucky likes this idea, so he's going for it. And while they're talking, Lucky's driver,
who's good friends with our Dutch, right?
No.
he's friends with Bub.
Gotcha.
Because at the very beginning, when we
That's what I meant, yeah.
Yeah, when we meet Lucky, we totally forgot about it. When we meet Lucky, Bub goes to the window and talks to the driver. And he's like, "Well, man, what you doing driving a car?" You know, "Man, I gotta put food on the table. My wife made me." He specifically says, "My wife made me put the gun down."
Yeah.
And Bub says, "You give my best regards to Helen." But I can't remember the driver's name. I want to say it's Cecil.
It's
Cecil sounds right. There's an L in it for sure.
because like Dutch thought he was under his payroll, but really he was under either Lucky or Bumpy's at the end.
Well, so they're having that meeting in the car.
Mm-hmm.
The driver Cecil is listening, and
then he goes to Dutch and gets paid.
Yes,
But then they show that they also paid him after that.
he's
the
working
car
like a
window.
double agent here.
Yeah.
So he tells him, like, "Look,
Which good for him.
Oh, yeah.
Get your money twice.
But you can also tell the difference in these people, because he tells him that Mr. Luciano doesn't know that I'm listening. I keep the partition kind of open. And look, he's setting up this meeting with Bumpy, Johnny, at this time, this place. Dutch gives him $100. And he's like, "This better be good information, otherwise you know what I'm going to do to you?"
Yes, Mr. Dutch, I know.
Right, and he leaves, so he goes back down to his car, and he's sitting in his car, someone walks up to the window.
That's like $2,000.
But the person that walks up to the window
Gives him...
But
it was from...
dozens of $100 bills.
And it was from Mr. It was from Bundy.
It was from Bumpy. And they're like, "Thanks for your work, Cecil." Bumpy paid him hundreds of dollars. Dutch gave him $100. It shows Dutch and his goons sitting outside watching this building. They see Bumpy and his guys go in. They go up to apartment B, I think. And then they're like, waiting. Johnny shows up, the accountant.
With his soaked raincoat.
No, this is the one where it's the middle of the bright sunny day.
Oh, okay.
The raincoat thing shows up later.
Gotcha.
So they... Dutch and his guys smack Johnny around, drag him into the building. They're like, which room is it? Where are you going? And they kick the door in and immediately start shooting.
And nobody there.
There's nobody there. And they throw Johnny into a chair, and there's a number slip.
235 or 3...
It's 235, and they talked about that earlier in the movie.
Yeah.
235 represents death in some book that they mentioned. And Johnny's like, "Look, Mr. Schultz, I can do your numbers and your taxes and everything for you." And he shoots Johnny
Out of nowhere for no reason.
and he unloads that gun on Johnny. And I like Johnny. Bumpy sacrificed a decent character to get this shit done. They used Johnny as fucking bait, and he just gets killed.
Yeah.
And then that's when they search through the rest of the building. But then don't they shoot or they jump to Dutch and what was his name? Lulu.
So Dutch and Lulu are sitting at some like little
restaurant or something.
Yeah,
Or bar.
and
He's sweating.
this man sweats this whole movie. Lulu.
Yes.
Oh, yeah. He's the whole time. He's just...
He always has that white
Handkerchief.
handkerchief. Oh, he also eats stuff like an asshole.
Yeah.
Because there's multiple scenes where he's eating like a cucumber.
Yeah.
loud as fuck.
Or a pickle or some weird...
Something green.
Yeah.
But they mention in the scene that they finally are like, Bumpy's pretty smart. He made us start a war with Lucky because all they did was kill his accountant.
Mm-hmm.
So now Lucky has it out for him.
Yep.
There's also a guy who goes and drops off 2 suitcases full of money, and it's actually Bub, and he drops them off on the DA's desk, Dewey. Dutch mentions that he's going to go take a piss, and he goes to the bathroom, and for whatever fucking reason, he puts his gun on top of the urinal next to the one he's using, and as he's taking a piss, Lulu walks in.
And he's like, they chose you to come down here?
Yeah, when he pulls the gun out, he realizes what it is.
Yeah, because he's like, what the fuck are you doing in here?
So they got you to do it.
Yeah, because right before that, when they're sitting at the table, he's like, no, Bumpy's pretty fucking smart. And the guy's like, oh, I didn't think about that, boss. And he goes, it's because you're a fucking idiot.
Yeah. All he does is degrade everyone that works for him.
Everyone. Can't imagine why they turn on him.
Yeah, no, not at all.
But this is such a weird interaction to me because Lulu shoots him like 2 or 3 times.
But he takes forever between each shot.
Yeah, he shoots him, gets back up, shoots him again, falls, gets back up. But Tim Roth is walking around looking like Michael Jackson's Thriller.
And then goes all the way down to the table.
And Lou's looking at him like he's trying to kill Rasputin.
Right? It's like
I poisoned you, I stabbed you, I shot you, you're still alive.
How are you defying these odds?
But it should have been like, dude, you just unload the magazine and then run. Like,
yeah.
You know what you saw him do to Johnny? Do that. And Dutch goes to the table and he sits down and he slumps over just dead. And then Lulu goes down to the car and gets in Lucky's car.
Doesn't he say, what are they going to do to you without me or something like that? Or did he say anything at all?
He didn't say anything else.
No,
Okay.
Dutch, after he got shot in the bathroom, he didn't have another line of dialogue.
Gotcha.
I really thought Dutch was going to survive. Like, the way he was walking and as far as he made it with the bleeding gut, I was like, oh, okay, so I guess he's not dead?
3 bullet holes in
Yeah.
his chest. He's
Right.
still walking down a
Bloody.
flight of stairs.
But as soon as Lulu gets in the car, he's like, it's done, where's the money?
And then the
The guy in the
passenger...
front, yeah.
And Lucky just puts his hat over his face and blocks the blood from getting him. I'm like,
They
that's
shoot
a boss.
Lulu and dump him out of the car in the rain.
Shocker.
Shocker. But they basically are paying off Dewey at the same time. They killed Lulu, and now Lucky doesn't have to worry about the DA anymore because his main thing was Dutch. So he called William Atherton's character calls Andy Garcia, and he's like, well, congratulations, these problems are over, and thanks for all that money you gave me. And actually, no, it was actually Bumpy's money, I think. Bumpy paid him off, if I remember right.
Oh, yeah, because there's the 2 briefcases.
It was 2 briefcases, yeah. So I think some of it was Bumpy's money. But either way, Dewey isn't worried about them anymore.
He got his money. He's out.
That's it. And then Dutch has a meeting with... not Dutch, I'm sorry. Bub has a meeting with Bumpy in the rain. And I think this is where you were talking about the soggy raincoat. And he's like, look, it's done. Dutch is dead. Lucky's not worried about you. The DA's taken care of. Everything's copacetic. And Bumpy asked Bub, he's like, what are you going to do now? And he has that good line of, I'm going to go get some sleep. And he says, what are you going to do? He goes, I got some unfinished business to take care of. And he walks past the Undertaker.
Yeah, they're like
fuck in the rain.
They're right at the church.
Sitting on that carriage.
Yep.
He's
In
being
hers.
super creepy.
Yeah.
Dude is just creepy. And I don't know, it doesn't help.
It's his eyes.
And his eyes are like wide when he
Yeah.
I think in all the shots he's in, he's just got his eyes open way too much.
And I feel like he has
looks like
fake
he-
teeth.
Yes.
His teeth are crazy.
It's like horse teeth.
Yeah.
This man's got when I tell you this man has a mouth full of teeth.
And when they were showing that part, he was like right in the camera down there
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
the whole time.
Yep.
Just looking creepy as hell.
That's the thing. It's like he doesn't do anything to not look creepy.
Yeah, it doesn't help. But Bumpy walks into the church, and it's Illinois' funeral. And he walks by everybody in the movie. Queen is out of jail. She's sitting there next to Francine. This is their last scene together. They have no more dialogue, though.
I would like to say this funeral is packed. Standing room only. But then when Bumpy goes up to the front of the church with the body, you can see the side of the church.
So many open spots.
So many open seats.
I think when he's walking out and he walks past and he looks down at Francine and Queen.
There's seats open all around him.
But the wide shot, packed.
Yeah, and I'm like, why are these people standing? Can't they get over to the side?
Why aren't you sitting by Francine?
He starts crying, and he gets down on one knee, or he gets down on his knees, and he walks out, and he walks past the main gang of guys, like Calvin and Whispers, and he walks out into the rain, and he kind of like has his eyes closed, and he's got his head up in the rain, and then he brings his head down, and the camera is zooming in
On one eye.
On one eye.
and then it gets so fucking blurry,
Just so pixelated.
and he opens his eye, and boom, that's the end of our movie. So that's Hoodlum, everybody.
Yeah, it ended on a great note.
We're gonna go around, and everyone's gonna say what they thought, if they had regretted seeing this in the theater, or what. Erica, you want to go first?
Sure. Yes, I would regret seeing this in the theater. Was not good. The cast was literally the best part of this movie because it was every black person I've ever seen in a black movie ever. I bet this was doing numbers on BET back in the day. But, I don't know. Not a good film. The script was not good. The directing was not good. But the cast was great. They did what they could with what they had.
I probably wouldn't have gone and seen it. Like, once again, I was very selective about movies that I went to see, or even movies that I used to watch. Like, I've watched so many movies lately for the podcast. It's just like I never used to watch movies like this because I was just really selective about what I watched. But I feel like I wouldn't have regretted it, honestly.
No?
Yeah, I feel like I wouldn't have. I probably would have been entertained enough.
Enough?
Yeah.
Okay. What about you, Corey?
I'm very similar with Jeremy. Like, I wouldn't have regretted seeing it in the theater, but more than likely I will not watch it a second time. Like, it's not something, unless it's a late night. But it's hard. I enjoyed it, but yes, terrible writing, just a lot of terribleness. But the cast is so good.
Golden.
Stellar cast.
So, I would have regretted seeing this in the theater. I found it to be kind of a dull movie. Not like everything you guys kind of said, I agree with. The cast, the script, the directing.
The cast is good.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. No, I totally agree with that. Terrible writing. Directing from Bill Duke, not great. And the fact that it's just so loosely based off of these real life characters. Like, you can't call this a historical drama in it by any means because it's so fictional.
It is.
Because one character is dead in real life for the entire movie.
Before it even takes place.
in the movie.
But yeah, it's if they had a better budget and maybe a better written script, I think keep all these same actors, and you would have had something amazing here.
Oscar.
I don't know if they ever did a movie that was like solely based on Madame St. Clair, but
That would have been a good,
that probably would have been
a great
that probably would have
movie.
done really well.
and it ends with her shooting her husband. Anyone ready to take a guess
Oh, I sure am.
at what it would have cost to see this in the theater in 1997? So we're going to run the numbers real fast, and everyone's going to tell me what they think.
$6.86.
Very specific.
$4.75.
$8.75.
Jeremy is so close.
Oh my gosh!
Jeremy's off by less than a quarter.
How do I keep
Damn.
screwing these up?
He said $4.75. It was $4.59.
Damn.
I had a good time talking about it. That was our great conversation on Hoodlum. In 2 weeks, our next movie is going to be something I picked, which I'm kind of excited about. Top Gun.
Never seen it.
I've never seen
it.
Top Gun.
Are you the only one that's seen Top Gun?
Now you have to watch it. I've watched it so many times.
Never seen it
I
before.
love Top Gun.
Are you gonna watch it again anyway?
Oh, I sure am.
I'm kind of looking forward to it because it's one I've heard about I've heard a lot about.
Get
I've just
ready
never
for
sat down and watched
get
it.
ready for some romance.
Who's in this one?
It's Tom Cruise, Val Kilmer,
Okay, it is not. She's not going to be about this one. She doesn't like Tom Cruise.
Top Gun in 2 weeks. We're looking forward to that. In the meantime, if everybody could go and follow us on our socials on at Get2 Theater #2. We're on Facebook. We're on Instagram, Threads, YouTube. All of our episodes are on Spotify, Amazon Music, Apple Podcasts. Please check all those out. We hope you enjoy if you could go back and listen to our back episodes. We're going to go ahead and get out of here and end this episode. We've been Getting to the Theater. I'm Adam.
I'm Erica.
I'm Jeremy.
I'm Corey.
We'll see you guys next time.